Had to lay the pride down, put my face to the floor. I was talking big, but I live too small. Now I wake up focused, give my all, give my all. Old me, try to win by the empty flex. New me on my knees, gotta clean a step. One life, one path, I'm gonna walk it right. Every scar got a story, now I'm made for life. I've been changing day by day, no more running in place. I can feel that old weight falling off my name. When I rise with purpose. When I fall, it makes me steady. I'm not who I was, I'm getting ready. Better me, that's who I'm gonna be. Better me, walking in destiny. One step, one prayer, I'm becoming who I'm meant to be. Better me, that's who I'm gonna be. Cut the fake friends off, cut the noise down low. I don't need applause, I need food that grows. Got a heart to guard, got a mind to renew. I'm not chasing cloud, I'm chasing truth. If the road gets hard, I won't tap out. Build on grace, not hype, that's what I'm about. Every little win, every yes, every no, that's the kind of strength that helps a person grow. I've been changing day by day, no more running in place. I can feel that old weight falling off my name. When I rise with purpose. When I fall, he makes me steady. I'm not who I was, I'm getting ready. Better me, that's who I'm gonna be. Better me, walking in destiny. One step, one prayer, I'm becoming who I'm meant to be. Better me, that's who I'm gonna be. Not perfect, but I'm moving, not finished, but I'm growing. Got a new fire in my chest, and it keeps on showing. If you lead, I'll follow. If you speak, I listen. Turn my weakness into purpose, turn my pain to a mission. Better me, that's who I'm gonna be. Better me, walking in destiny. One step, one prayer, I'm becoming who I'm meant to be. Better me, that's who I'm gonna be. I was built for more than the mess I wore. Had to lay the pride down, put my face to the floor. I was talking big, but I live too small. Now I wake up focused, give my all, give my all. Old me, try to win by the empty flex. New me on my knees, gotta clean a step. One life, one path, I'm gonna walk it right. Every scar got a story, now I'm made for life. I've been changing day by day, no more running in place. I can feel that old weight falling off my name. When I rise with purpose. When I fall, he makes me steady. I'm not who I was, I'm getting ready. pain to mission. Better me, better me. That's who I'm gonna be. Better me, walking in destiny. One step, one prayer, I'm becoming who I'm meant to be. Better me, better me. That's who I'm gonna be.
And welcome to the student CEO session. Welcome. I apologize. We have started, but me, I'm starting. You're seeing me maybe about 7 minutes later than you should. Not our culture here. Welcome, guys. As usual, I'm streaming from a third world country. So, I need to clarify my internet and be sure that people are hearing and seeing me. So do me that favor. Some say looking sharp, active. Today's graduation now, so I have to get. Some of you are saying, get it behind me. You bad and faithless servants. Go to the left. Go to the left. I don't know you. You're not graduating. I'm not a student CEO. So welcome, guys. Now I've told you now. Usually I show up with what I wear to church. I wore a suit to church today, so usually I come straight from church here. All right. So welcome, welcome, everybody. I am looking at this camera quality and it looks a bit plain. But do I have time to begin to work on the color profile? Let's see how it goes, Sha. Great. Welcome. So as usual, we'll have you say your name and where it is that you are joining us from. Your name and where you are joining us from. Let me know your name. Let me know where you're joining us from. If you are joining us from an institution, add that. So I'm joining from, Minnesota, whatever. I'm joining from Covenant University Otta. I'm joining from Unilag, Uniben. All right. Just let me know. Let me know where you're joining, your name, where you're joining us from, and your country, states, wherever. All right. So we'll take about 5 to 10 of that. And then we'll go out. Take aside I was suit. You are the one that is a student CEO. True. I'm not. I've left being a student since. So sometimes I have to remind you as to why why I'm here. So he said I thought a wicked word. Oh my. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Let me know where you are joining in from. You see my eyes moving like this because that's why I'm checking out the stream. So let me know where you're joining from. I am Princess, joining from OAU, Ile-Ife. Fantastic, Princess, welcome. I'm still waiting for a couple more before I bring up our guest for today. Okay. Is it okay? Is there something wrong? Okay, I can see Princess. The rest of you, where are you joining from? A name, where you're joining from? You're from a university. Let me know. Let me know. Favor from Covenant University. So while that is going on, let me do something extra today. If you are being here for the 4 sessions, mark all your attendance. Say 4/4 complete. If not 3/4, if not 2/4, if not 1/4, if not first timer. Your first timer attendance is not complete. I want to let you know you cannot write exam. I'm going to have to come back next year. I'm that kind of lecturer. Do your worst. Okay, so I'm waiting. Ben Benjamin from Bowen University, 4/4. Interesting. Araluwa is from Abuja, Covenant University. Uh, University coming. Okay. Okunade active. Oh, Stephen from Abuja. Okay, fantastic. Great. So in a few minutes, I will be bringing up our guests. All right, and I'll tell you why I feel like he's a fantastic person to be the one to handle the session of today. All right, so Rhoda, I see you, Covenant University. So take the link before I even go in deeper. Share with everybody you know, your friends, your enemies, and let them know that we are live. All right, your friends, your enemies, all those people that ask you for urgent 2K. And I'm going to explain why tonight's session is particularly important. You know, I sent a write up about tonight's session and I said, look, more often than not, when people are explaining business and all that, people end in a line of thought that to make money, all I need to do is learn a profitable skill. All right. But like I tell people, when you want to cook soup, you need maybe tomatoes, you need pepper, and all of that. A single ingredient is not equal to the soup. All right. You don't put only tomatoes, you don't put only salt, and it turns into soup. It's a lot of things. And when it comes to your personal finances, guess what? It's also a lot of things. All right. Learning a high leverage skill, learning a skill that is in demand is just one out of the many things that are required. So many people unfortunately stop there. So become very good at what they do, but they remain broke from what they do. You know, I'll share a story, a biblical story many times, talking about Joseph, how that Joseph had been interpreting dreams. All right. In fact, the one interpreter got him into trouble. You know, but the moment he interpreted the dream for Pharaoh, Potiphar, he was promoted, you know, because now he had access to the right set of people. So skills alone is not what's going to change your life. You have really great skills, learn all the AI stuff, learn all the AI stack. But guess what? Absolutely nobody is going to pay if they don't know you. So today's guest is going to show you how to work that way. And I haven't been in this. I've been in I founded a couple of companies in my small life, and across the board, I've only had two co-founders. All right, I he's one of the people that I've actually co-founded the company with. All right, so we did some. I think we did some numbers. I can't even remember what those numbers look like. All right, and then we both looked at that business and we realized if we continue, we're eventually going to say to eat Gary because the business model wasn't that solid. So had pivot into something else. It's a fantastic person, and I'm going to bring him up soon. So, but before I do that, I want to give you a final opportunity. I would want you to take the link and share it every single place that you can share it. Let people know that I'm about to perform miracles, signs and wonders. I know that. So send it around, send it everywhere, put it on your status. I think it's going to be a fantastic session. All right, so I'll give you 1 minute to do that, 1 to 2 minutes. And once we come back, you'll see I and the guest will have a short interview, and then I'll introduce him and I'll leave just you and the guest to have a short time. And off I go. All right, so 1 minute break. Get your notepads, get everything you need to get, share the link to everybody that you know, and then we're starting. All right.
I was built for more than the mess I wore. Had to lay the pride down, put my face to the floor. I was talking big, but I live too small. Now I wake up focused, give my all. Old me, try to win by the empty flex. Know me on my knees, gotta clean a step. One life, one path, I'm gonna walk it right. Every scar got a story, now I'm made for life. I've been
Okay. Welcome, 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 welcome. On your screen is Mr. Eyitemi. Eyitemi, can you hear me?
Okay. I can hear you. Can you hear me fine?
Oh, yeah, yeah, I'm good. So welcome, welcome.
I think there might be a bit of a lag, but I
I
can
would
hear
have
you
read your
fine.
profile, but just know that Eyitemi is a mad guy that has plenty money. I think, I think, I think I don't need to say anymore. So Eyitemi is one of the. If I let me tell you guys two stories. I told them I'm going to tell this story. It's my story to tell Abi. It's my story to tell Abi. Take guys on this call. Take guys. So, when anything was setting up prior to events, just doing the. It's my story to tell anything, but I can tell it. I'm the owner of the story. Uh-huh. So, what I was telling you that, yeah. So,
I mean,
Amy
sure.
and I were setting up, and there were a couple of stuff from your session that was there. Amy then looks at the topic of your slides. You say how to, I think, build a business without without risking your grades or something like that. It was like, I'm enjoying this session now. Because when we were in school, I'll never forget. The boy, he was so passionate about building a business, about just doing stuff that I wanted to do. He didn't want to finish school. See, missing wahala. The man did not want to finish. So, then after school, part of things I do in my room, I do business. So, man, Eyitemi will be in the room. Then we're bouncing off, looking at the stats on the business. The guy would have been explaining to me how that he doesn't want to do it. I said, you will not do it. You will collect this degree like mad. I think it got so bad that we had to have external family members because the man wanted to drop out. Village people almost won for long guy shots. You did not drop out. So um, thank you so much for not dropping out. Because if you dropped out now, we'll not be able to use for student CEO. Maybe. So fantastic. Eyitemi. So let me say a few things about Eyitemi, and then I'll just give him the floor. Eyitemi has two core things that I think is really, really valuable as a young person, which is why, in fact, and he'll tell you, because at the time when we were running a business together, I mean, I pulled, if not 100% of the money for the business back then. The boy was broke back then. Anyways, so listen, while I was giving him that money for the business, while we're doing that business together, you know, I knew the business was going to fail. I knew it. In fact, I think I told him at some point in time. Because I mean, I had a lot of businesses. I looked at the business mode. I knew it. And I told him. But there was a particular quality that said, you know what? Let me take a bet on this guy. All right. And it was very simple. The boy, well, I wouldn't say may not speak a lot of English, but he does know how to communicate. Right? Fantastic communicator. But you see, one of the things that really struck me was the boy will execute like somebody that is owing OP money. he, he will just say, we're doing ABCD. Before you know it, he has done the code, he has done everything. Sharp, everything is ready. And let me tell you the truth. Once I find somebody who has a bias towards execution, I already know somebody who has a high chance of success. It's very, very scarce. So because of that, I took a bet. I just wanted to show him that I believed in what he was doing, and you know, eventually scaled through from there, and he's doing very, very well. So I am going to leave you guys now, and I'm going to hand over the entire floor to Eyitemi. He's going to take you for as long as he wants to take you, and we can pull through from there. By the way, On a normal level, you pay one-on-one sessions, one-on-one session with Eyitemi that you used to have before to see him. So I want you to know that it's a privilege for him to be here. Thank you so much. Eyitemi. So thank you so much. So I'll hand over back to Eyitemi now, and he will take you through. So Eyitemi, the moment you need your slides, please let me know. All right. So see you guys at the end of the session. Sorry, one last thing before I go off. Please, your questions both can start coming in because we're using YouTube. There's a level of latency, so if you wait to the end, probably so the moment you have a question, just leave in the chat box. If maybe he's answering in real time, he would, but if maybe he wants to gather everything to the end, he also would. But send your questions once they pop up in your head, and then we can answer them either like I said real time or at the end. So thank you so much. You see Eyitemi's face fully. I'm out of your space. See you at the end, guys. So Eyitemi, like I said, once you're ready with your slides, let me, or once you want to your slides to show up, let me know.
Awesome. Okay. Um, I'm trying to confirm that you guys can hear me fine. Can you please comment, like leave a comment on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube? If you can hear me fine. I just need to make sure we're on the same page. And Bolly, it would be nice to get the slides immediately, please. So I'd like to just start off with the slides. While we're waiting for the slides to come up, I'm very curious to know what types of businesses that like different people here are running. So if you can, please drop like what business you're running or what business you're planning to start, so I can have an idea and then tailor the session accordingly. So what type of business are you running? What type of business are you planning to start as well? Okay, seems like the slides are up. I'll wait for a couple minutes. What types of business? What type of business are you running? What type of business are you planning to start? That will help me tailor the session and figure out how to run this properly. I'm trying to make sure I'm on the right page. I haven't done this before, so I'm like trying to juggle different pages. Okay, I saw somebody building digital products, web applications, guides, and courses. Okay, I need a couple more people to get an idea of what types of business, what type of business you're running, so I know how to tailor this. Two or three other people. What type of business are you running? What type of business are you running? What type of business are you running? B2B SaaS products, resin artist. So I make customized key holders, lapel pins, bookmarks, and anything resin interesting. One or two more people. What type of business are you running? What type of business are you planning to start? And then I can move forward from there. What type of business? What type of business? I need a couple more people so I have an understanding. I'm trying to get an idea whether it's mainly online businesses or physical businesses. Okay, digital product business on a blog and offer services, food processing and investment. Awesome. Okay. All right. So I guess focusing on the slide and what exactly I'm here to talk about today. The primary thing that I want to talk about is how to get clients or how to get customers for your business. And I'm going to be using some of the examples that you guys have listed, in the comment section, and then take it from there. So as an intro, my name is Eyitemi. I am the founder of koyatalents.com. If you want to check it out, it is a staffing agency. We train Nigerian developers in AI automation and then connect them with founders. And I finished from Covenant University. I studied computer science, and I graduated 2 years ago. 2 years ago. In terms of my track record, or I guess some proof so that you know why I'm, I guess, qualified to talk about the things that I'm talking about. In university, I ran a short form content agency. This was in 300, 400 level. I did run a couple of things like Bolu mentioned. We had some things that we did together. But primarily, I ran a short form content agency. This was towards the ending of my university. I had a couple of clients, had Happy FX, Gojo Forex. Some of you might know these people, Abdul Kawi at some point. And then in 400 level, I believe, that was when I closed one of my biggest clients back then, which was about 700,000. Back then, it was like a huge deal to me. And like, it was actually crazy. But that was a while ago. I don't run the short form content agency anymore. Now I run another business, which I just mentioned is Koya, right? In the past like year thereabouts, we've closed over multiple 8 figures in deals, and almost all of it came from the method that I'm going to be sharing with you today. So I'm going to be sharing how exactly we did all of these things, and making sure that you have an action plan on how to actually get clients for your business. 1 second, I'm trying to adjust my view on here. Okay. One second. All right. Great. So I think the main question that we're going to be covering, or the main question that I want to cover here, is how do you actually grow your business? How do you get more clients? How do you get more customers for your business? And I've looked at the different examples that are here. Many people are running physical businesses. I'm seeing somebody saying they're running crochet accessories. They're selling crochet accessories. And there's multiple online businesses as well. I think most of the things I'm going to say are geared towards more of the online business, but it will cover everything in general, because I figured that a couple people would have physical businesses that they're running here. Now, there's a couple of ways in which you could actually get clients for your business, right? There's different ways. This particular framework here, this matrix that I have on screen right now, is from Alex Hormozi's book, right? Many of you know who Alex Hormozi is, but it shows the different ways in which you could get leads, in which you could get clients for your business, right? So there's warm, there's cold. Warm basically means you already know these people, right? You're reaching out to people, or you are trying to get clients, or you're trying to get people that you already know to become your clients. And then cold basically means you do not know these people at all. You've never met them before, you don't know who they are, and you want to get them from not knowing anything about you to them becoming your clients or your customers, right? And then the second axis here, which is is this X or Y? I should have been paying attention in school. This is X-axis, one-to-one and then one-to-many. One-to-one basically means you're speaking to one person, right? One-to-many means you're speaking to many people. And as you can see, there are 4 buckets here. Number 1 is warm outreach, so reaching out to somebody that you already know. Then number 2 is posting content. Many of you here are familiar with posting content already. Number 3 is cold outreach. So you're reaching out to somebody, like I mentioned earlier, that you do not know at all, you've never met before. And then number 4 is paid ads. So you're paying Meta, you're paying Google, you're paying TikTok or whatever to put your product or your offer in front of other people. Now, I'm going to talk about the different buckets here and the pros and cons of the different buckets here. But the question is, which one should you do, right? Starting out and running your business, which one should you focus on? Now, first of all, for posting content, I think before I even move on, let me actually get a couple of people in the chat on YouTube. Could you mention how you currently get your clients? Maybe not divide it into these buckets, just type in how you currently get your clients for your business, because I'm curious to know, for like the person that's building digital products or the person that is a freelancer, how do you actually get your clients at the moment, right? So for posting content, there's pros and cons obviously to every single one of these. For posting content, it's a longer term play, right? If you start posting content today, except you're already skilled at it or you already have an audience, the likelihood of you reaping the benefits from posting content is quite low, because you don't have the skill and it takes time. It's a longer term play. So it's something that is viable for sure, but it just takes a long time before you get results from it. And then paid ad is another ballgame. Paid ads, number 1, you need capital, right? You need to actually have money to pay Meta or to pay Google or to pay TikTok or whatever platform that you're using, to put your offer in front of other people. So you need capital. And number 2 is you need skill, right? You need to know how to shoot the ads. You need to know how to write hooks, you need to know which ones convert, you need to know how to test, you need to know how to run different campaigns and all of that, right? So you need skill for it. So the question is like, which one of these is the most accessible and which one of these can you actually do, right? And the reason that I'm going to be focusing on the last point here, cold or warm outreach, is because it is the most accessible. It is the most accessible because you do not need capital to make it work, right? So you don't need capital to send out messages to people. You do not need any skill level. In fact, once we're done with today's session, you should be able to execute this very well, and then it gets you results. So this is what I'm going to be focusing on primarily, cold outreach, which is basically reaching out to people, right? So Moving on to like what exactly cold outreach is and why this is even important in the first place. Cold outreach is basically reaching out to people who do not know you yet about what you offer to turn them into clients or to turn them into customers. You're reaching out to people who do not know you and you would like to turn them into clients or customers, right? By explaining your offer and reaching out to them. And the question here is, who is it for? Who should focus on it? I've talked about the three other methods: warm outreach, posting content, paid ads. But the question here is, who is cold outreach for? Cold outreach is for anybody really that has something to offer and you want to reach the person who needs it. Because at the end of the day, if you think about it, if all you're doing right now is through referrals, I saw a couple people mention in the comments that they grow their business using referrals. Referrals is like one of the highest I guess leverage ways to get business, right? Anybody that you get from referrals, assuming the person that referred them is a good, client of yours, then the conviction will be higher, right? It's easier to close that person, to get them to become a client, to get them to become a customer. But you can't necessarily scale referrals. You can't turn a lever and then increase the amount of referrals that you're sending out, because it's more of an organic process, right? So you can't wake up today and decide, okay, I want to get this many customers, I want to get this many clients, and then you turn the lever on referrals. It just doesn't work that way, right? So the question is, how do you reach more people with your business? How do you get your offer, the thing you're selling, your product, your whatever, to more people? And the answer here is cold outreach, because you can reach out to more people, reach out to people, and then convince them about your product, convince them about your offering, and have them work with you as a client or a customer. So that's what we're going to be focusing on in this particular session, right? The next question, or the next, reasonable question here is, what makes a good cold outreach? Like, how do you know how to reach out to somebody? And I'm curious if any of you has actually tried cold outreach before for whatever offer or whatever thing it is that you're selling. Have you tried cold outreach before? If you have, maybe drop it in the comments. If it has worked for you, if it hasn't worked for you, I'd like to see like what your experience is like, or if you've even done it at all before. Because I'd like to share with you a framework that I have used, right? And like I said, this is the same framework that I used to close many clients in university. I'll show you sample messages that I sent to people, sample messages that I still send now. As of now, most of the clients that we've worked with the business, over 17, 18 clients, most of them have come through cold outreach, which is reaching out to people that did not know me before, and then they are paying multiple 7 figures to work with, us to actually deliver on the offer that we have. So if you want to be able to, get to that level, or get to a point where you're able to reach out to people and they understand what it is that you're offering, then I'd like to just drop in the comments if you have done that before. I see somebody say they've done it before on LinkedIn. That's quite interesting. Okay, I'm curious how many other people have tried cold outreach before. Anyways, what makes a cold outreach? And my goal with this session is to take you from not knowing anything about this to a point where you're able to get clients and you're able to get customers on a consistent basis by sending messages to people. There are 2 pillars that are very important for this to work. For you to send good cold outreach to somebody and for them to actually understand it and for it to resonate and for them to become your client after, 2 things have to be true. Number 1 is relevance, and then number 2 is credibility. Number 1 is relevance, meaning that the person that you're reaching out to, it needs to be relevant. The message you're sending to them needs to be relevant, because if you think about it, cold outreach is free. It doesn't cost you anything to type a message to somebody. Like Gloria said, she has done cold outreach on LinkedIn before. Somebody else I just saw now says they've done like in-person outreach before, right? So what you're doing is sending a message to somebody, and it doesn't cost you anything to send a message to somebody, right? So you need to make sure that what you're doing, because of that, like because there's no cost, a lot of people will be reaching out to people. So they are getting a lot of emails, they are getting a lot of messages, they are getting a lot of DMs, and you need to figure out how to stand out. And that's what we'll be covering here essentially. So for the first pillar, which is relevance, relevance answers the question, should I even pay attention to this? When somebody sends you a message, and I'm curious if you've received cold outreach before as well. If somebody sends you a message, the first thing that you're thinking in your mind is like, is this a message that I should pay attention not? Am I going to scroll and ignore this DM, ignore this message, or am I going to reply to this? So the question is like, should I pay attention to this? And that is what relevance handles. That is the question that relevance answers, right? And relevance basically means you're reaching out to the right person at the right time and about the right thing. So you're reaching out to the right person about the right thing at the right time. That is what relevance is. And the outcome of this, eventually, when you send cold outreach to somebody, you want them to go in their head like, oh, this is actually a problem that I have. You've clearly researched me. You clearly know about me. You clearly know this is relevant for me. This is the right message you're sending to me at the right time. So it's very timely, right? And it is relevant. I should pay attention to this message. That is what relevance handles. And the second one is credibility, but we'll get to credibility in a bit. Now, I want to play a bit of an exercise. Unfortunately, the time between me talking and the comments actually coming in is lagging a bit, so I might not be able to do this live. But the exercise here is basically asking if you would respond. I see somebody, okay, Emmanuel said he's done a bit of like LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Okay, makes sense. We'll get to that in a bit. But I'm curious, if you read these two messages, which one would you actually respond to? So imagine somebody reaches out to you and the person says, hi, let me pick some random person's name. Say, hi, David, I build websites. Do you need a website? Let me know. Like somebody reaches out to you and says that, right? Oh, I build websites. Do you need a website? Let me know. And then another person, let's say Tola reaches out to you and says, oh, David, I saw your booking link. I saw it has been down all week and you're taking orders in your DMs. I built simple order pages for makeup artists. Do you want me to set one up for you? Right? So those are the two messages that we have here. And if you look at the two messages, what changes and which one are you likely to respond to? Well, I've waited for the comments, but it's taking a minute for it to come in. But the idea here is that one of them is more relevant than the other. Why is one more relevant than the other? If we break it down, right? The first message here says, hi, David, right? I build websites. Do you need a website? Let me know. It doesn't acknowledge who you are. It doesn't acknowledge the fact that this might be relevant, it might not be relevant for you, whether you need this at the moment or you don't need this. It just says, hi, I build websites. Do you need a website? Let me know, which is not a very good way to go about it. But I receive a lot of cold outreach myself on LinkedIn, on Instagram, literally everywhere from different people. And a lot of those messages actually look like this, right? Where you're just saying, I do this, you know, do you want, right? And that is not how you want to go about it. And if that is the only thing you're going to get from today's session, then you should probably just get that, right? That is not how you go about it. Now, if we break down the second one firstly leads with, if I just read it again, right? So your booking link has been down all week and you're taking orders in your DMs. So I'm reaching out to this person and I'm saying, oh, normally they take orders like, you know, through their booking link. But right now the booking link is down. They're taking orders through your DMs. I build simple order pages for makeup artists. So in this case, we're assuming the person we're reaching out to is a makeup artist. So you're saying, oh, I saw something that made me reach out. I saw your booking link has been down all week and you're taking orders in the DMs, which basically means that you're facing a problem, which is that you're taking orders in your DMs, you're probably overwhelmed, you can't handle all of it. And the solution is that, oh, I actually built, so you're positioning yourself as the solution or you're offering as the solution. I built simple order pages for makeup artists, and then the person you're reaching out to obviously will be a makeup artist, right, for it to be relevant. Do you want me to set one up for you? Now, we can make this better in a lot of different ways, but this is just to, like, the contrast here is just to show you what relevance actually looks like. I'm looking at the comments now. A couple of people are saying the second is addressing the need of the client more than your services. Exactly. That's kind of like the mental framework that we want to have here. So the first pillar of what makes a good cold outreach is relevance. The message that you're sending to whoever you're sending it to needs to be relevant. If it is not relevant, you are wasting your time. It's kind of like applying to a job where you do not fit. Like, imagine I am a software engineer and I'm applying to, I don't know, a product marketing role or something, and I'm dropping my CV, my software engineering CV. Even if my software engineering CV is the best it can possibly be, the person on the other end is not going to pay attention to it because it is not relevant. You're reaching out to the wrong person about the wrong thing at the wrong time, literally, right? It's the same thing here. Even if you have the best product in the world or you have the best service in the world, you can do it better than any other person. If you're reaching out to the wrong person about the wrong thing, you know, and it is like the first message that's here, it's not going to work because it's not relevant. I've spent way too much time on relevance. So we're going to move on to the second pillar, which is credibility. Now, the first pillar, like I said earlier, answers the question, should I pay attention to this? So I open my message that somebody has sent to me. Tola sent a message to me. I open the message. I'm saying, should I even pay attention to this? I read the first line, second line. I'm like, okay, it's relevant to me. This actually is very relevant. Like, this is something that I should pay attention to. Like, this person is speaking to me. This is the right time. She's reaching out about the right thing, about a problem I have. I'm going to pay attention to this. But then the next question is like, even though I'm paying attention, it's like, can this person actually help me? You've identified my problem. Awesome. But can you actually help me? Am I going to be convinced that you can help me? Can Tola, is it Tola? I've forgotten the names now. There's Tola, there's David at this point. I've mixed everything up. But can you actually help me is the next question. And there's three forms of credibility that we have here. Number one is proof. number 2 is guarantee, and number 3 is value up front. Right, I'll show you different examples as we keep going, but I just want to establish the three types. Now, for the first type, proof. When you're reaching out to somebody, like I said, the second thing they're asking after they've already answered the question, like, should I pay attention to this? They're paying attention. The next thing is, can this person actually help me? Right? Because if you think about it, right, you've probably received, I don't know if you've received, but if you have received cold outreach or have reached out before, there's many times I've received cold outreach from people, and I see the actual formatting of the text is good. Like, the person said something that's relevant. They said they watched my videos, noticed that XYZ, said all of that. I looked into it, and then they send a portfolio or something. I look at the portfolio, and the portfolio is not very nice. If the portfolio is not very nice, likelihood I'm going to respond or move forward with it is very low, right? Because it's not good. Or I look at the person's IG profile and look at some of the things they are posting. I'm like, this person is not a very good designer or whatever, right? So the question here is, can this person actually help me? Because if you think about it from the perspective of the person receiving it, if they see it and they're like, oh, this person actually got my problem right, and then this person can actually help me, there's nothing stopping them, assuming all of those things are correct, there's nothing stopping them logically from moving forward with it, except something happens, which we'll get to follow-ups later. But like, there's nothing stopping them. So on your end, you want to kind of handle these two pillars and make sure that these two things are very good before you move forward. So for credibility, there's 3 things, like I mentioned, that you could do here. Number 1 is proof. You could show proof of what you've done before, or show proof, which is basically testimonial, social proof, right, of things you've done before. So for example, people you've worked with in the past or results you've gotten before, right? I saw somebody that said they build like a B2B SaaS. I'm curious if you could drop what the actual SaaS product is. That would be nice. But if you have a SaaS and you've helped X amount of people do Y transformation, right, you can mention it there. For example, for my business, Koya, we've completed over 60 placements with AI agency owners, and I mentioned that in the outreach that I sent. So far, we've completed over we've completed over 60 placements with AI agency owners. In this case, obviously, I'm reaching out to AI agency owners and I'm letting them know this is my social proof. We've helped over 60 people, right? Back then, when I was doing this, short form content agency, at that point, the social proof I had was that I currently manage Habi and Kojo's TikTok profiles. Like, I've managed these people's TikTok profiles. If I mention Habi, if I mention Kojo, then it automatically resonates. It's like, oh, this person is actually, if I'm reaching out to anybody else in the Forex space, I'm like, I want to help you with your short form content. I manage Habi and Kojo's TikTok profiles. It makes sense. Like, you would want to move forward, and it answers the question, can this person actually help me? Now, you might be asking yourself, oh, if I haven't worked with a lot of clients before, if I don't have a lot of customers, how do I then do it? There's different ways in which you could go about the credibility part. Another way you could go about it is by having a guarantee, right, for the credibility. Now, this doesn't necessarily give credibility, but it reduces the risk, right? It takes the risk off of the table of the person that is receiving the message. So if you reach out to somebody, you're like, this is the right time, this is the right thing, right problem, you identified all of that, and you mentioned that, if you don't get the specific result, if you don't get 10,000 followers or 10,000 views in 90 days, then I'll keep working for free until you do, right? Or I only make money if you do. So I'm not charging you unless you make money, and then I make money as a byproduct. Now, some of this might be geared towards like online services, physical services, all of that, but we'll get into different examples as we move on. And then the final way you could provide credibility, right? This is my favorite one, and this is the one that I actually used back then with the short form content agency. I don't use it as much anymore, except I'm doing something smaller scale. But this is another way that works really well. And if you're just starting, you don't have many resources, I would recommend this method, which is giving value upfront. So you're giving value to people up front. So instead of claiming that I can help you, just do the work and send it to them. What I used to do back then, and how I reached out to Habi, Kojo, all of the people back then, to be honest, all of the clients that I got back then in uni, was number 1, I would write the message. I'll show you a sample message. I think I have one, a couple. I'll show you some sample messages later on. But I'll reach out and let them know, and then I would go ahead and actually edit the video for them. So for Habi, for example, I went to his YouTube page. What I was pitching, the offer I was pitching at that time was content repurposing, right? So I would look at their YouTube videos, look through all those clippable moments. Many of you will know this as clipping. Look at the clippable moments, clip it out, then edit it, turn it into a short form video, and then they'll post it, and then it could potentially go viral, right? So I would go ahead and actually clip the video already, and in the email that I'm sending, I'll just hyperlink to the link of the Google Drive that actually has the video. So that way, if the messaging is relevant, if they read it and they're like, okay, this person actually got the timing right, this might be relevant to me, and then they now look, the person sent a link to something, they watch it, and the video is actually good, you've provided them with value, you've gone ahead to actually, put in the work ahead of time, then in their head is like, okay, this is a no-brainer. Let me at least take a call with this person or potentially work with this person. And this was the method that I used to grow the short form content agency at that time. So one question you might want to ask is, when I'm reaching out to somebody, is there some form of value that I could provide ahead of time? It's not every time you're going to be able to do this. It's not with everybody that you're going to be able to do this. But is there something that I want that I can provide, ahead of time? Now, if you're running a physical business, you might be wondering a couple of things like, oh, I'm not running a service-based business. I can't send an edited video. I can't send all of that. This applies to not just getting clients. It applies to getting opportunities in general. My default framing for reaching out and trying to get opportunities for whatever it is to reach out to people. Like, I know how to craft a good cold outreach. I'll craft the cold outreach, provide you with value, and then do it in enough volume such that there's a funnel, and then some people will end up coming out at the bottom of that funnel, and I'll be able to get whatever opportunity it is that I want. And I've done this for so many things. It was how I got my first job out of university as well, and the only job that I've had. It's the same exact, strategies, the same exact principle, right? So sending value upfront. I was going to say, for physical businesses, it could really be anything at this point. It could be that you want to, I'm trying to think of different scenarios. If you're a content creator, for example, and you want to get a brand, right, and you find the person at the company, you want to get a brand deal, you find the person at the company, and then you reach out to the person at the company that's most relevant, send them a cold outreach, and then give some form of value upfront, or show some results, some proof, credibility, right, of something, a previous brand that has worked with you, the results they got. If you don't have anybody that you've worked with before, say a guarantee. If this video doesn't perform well or whatever, like, you don't pay, right? Or value upfront, send them the strategy or how you plan to actually go about it, and how this thing is actually going to be beneficial for their business, right? And then do that at scale. So it's the same thing. If you're a content creator trying to get brand deals, this might be a bit different if you're like selling, I don't know, like hair or something. But imagine that there's different scenarios, and you can kind of get creative with how you go about your cold outreach. So we've covered what makes a good cold outreach, and then the two pillars for a good cold outreach. Please drop a comment in the comment section if you're following. I just want to make sure I haven't lost people and we're all together at the moment. Once I confirm that we're actually together, then I will share this example, walk through this particular example that we have on here. Okay. Awesome. So this is an example. This actually gives me a bit more energy to know that there are people actually listening. Okay. This is an example here. And I was trying to think about it. I was trying to work backwards. Recently, I was looking for somebody to help with like social media stuff. I've been thinking about social media. I'm like, I haven't been posting that much. I recently reposted, or I got tagged in the Bolu's post. For some of you that might have seen it on Instagram, Bolu's post. Somebody said I'm fast. Okay, I apologize. I'm going to slow down. So Bolu posted, and then I didn't have Instagram prior to that time, so I just downloaded Instagram. And then I checked it. I was looking at some of the videos that I had posted in the past, and I was like, oh, it's been a while. I need to get back to making videos again. So I was looking for somebody that I could use as like a content strategist, because I really don't have the time to focus on it and work on it really well. And I was thinking, okay, if somebody was to reach out to me, what would that outreach look like? That could be interesting. Let me try to craft that. That's how I came up with this example. So this is the message that I was able to come up with. It can always be better. I came up with this issue like a couple minutes before this meeting. But hey, Timmy, I saw you haven't posted on Instagram in a while. I know Tolu edits for you, so I'm guessing that's not the bottleneck. Now, if somebody reaches out to me with this, most people, by the way, I think another thing to just state with this is that for cold outreach, the bar is not that high. Like, the bar is actually not that high, because you'd be surprised. You could ask like Bolu, or I know Tega is on the call as well, and he has like an audience. Anybody that has an audience or that receives cold outreach in general, that runs a business that's visible online, you receive a lot of cold outreach. Most of it is actually not good. Like, a lot of it is not good. If I read this message, the first thing that comes to my mind is, oh, hey Timmy, I saw you haven't posted on Instagram in a while. I know Tolu edits for you, so I'm guessing that's not the bottleneck. First of all, this is super relevant. I know that you have researched me. You've seen my Instagram page. It's not that hard to find out, child, that like, oh, I haven't posted on Instagram in a while. Last time I posted on Instagram was like February or something, aside from the mastermind and whatever, right? So I haven't posted in a while. I know Tolu edits for you, so I'm guessing that's not the bottleneck. Now, you've done your research to the point that you know the person that's even editing for me, or you know that I have an editor. This might be a stretch. Maybe you can find the person's editor. That's fine, right? And by the way, Tolu, I just made up this name. Somebody else actually edits for me. Favor does. but I know Tolu edits for you, so I'm guessing that is not the bottleneck. So you can infer that I have an editor already. So the bottleneck for me not posting on Instagram is not the fact that I don't have an editor. And then you ask me this question, it's like, oh, is it more about finding the time to put ideas together and plan them out? So you're inferring based off of what you've seen, right? So hey Timmy, I saw you haven't posted on Instagram in a while. I know Tolu edits for you, so I'm guessing that's not the bottleneck. Is it more about finding the time to put ideas together and plan them out? I ask because I'm a content strategist. I help creators stay consistent without the stress of figuring out what to post. I went through your niche and put together 10 content ideas with the structure for you attached below. Now, if I received this, I've found somebody by the way, but like if I received this as a DM or an email or whatever, like a physical letter, or you came to me in person and you said this, I mean, you don't want to talk like this because you sound like a robot in real life, but it applies in all the like different channels and all the different acquisition channels, right? If you sent this to me like 2 days ago, I would book like a meeting with you right on the spot because it was something that was on my mind and I was looking for, right? And this is how you want to approach it. Since I stopped posting on Instagram, I've had a couple of people reach out to me and it's like, oh, hey, I saw that you've not been posting in a while. Let me edit your videos for you now. Or somebody else reached out to me. I hope he's not on this call. He said, I would like to build a portfolio of like edited videos for you. Like if you watch my videos, you clearly see that I have an editor, right? So that is not my problem. But if you send this to me, and again, breaking this down, the reason it works is first of all, you've done your research and you state it here. Hey Timmy, I saw you haven't posted on Instagram. I know Tolu edits for you. So I'm guessing that's not the bottleneck. Is it more about finding the time to put ideas together and plan them out? So you're inferring and you're being logical there. And it's actually relevant. At this point, I'm like, oh, this person actually like that is exactly my problem. I'm going to read the rest of this message. And you're saying, oh, I asked because I'm a content strategist. Okay, content strategist, even if I have not thought that what I want is a content strategist, it automatically resonates because that might be relevant. So what do you do? What's your offer? I help creators stay consistent without the stress of figuring out what to post. I'm not consistent and I'm stressed out figuring out what to post because I don't have the time to do it, right? And then I went through your niche and put together 10 content ideas with the structure for you attached below. Like that is the proof, because the next question is like, okay, this person that's reaching out to me, is this person actually good? And then I look at whatever it is that you attach below. I look at the 10 content ideas, and if you're going this route, please make sure that whatever you're sending is decent, right? It doesn't have to be, you don't have to take all the time in the world to do it. Because another thing we need to talk about, I don't know if we're able to cover it here, is that if you're reaching out to somebody, you don't want to use like 17 days to craft one outreach for one person, because the likelihood that you will not respond is like high. If I'm not online, like I said, I just downloaded my Instagram yesterday. Like if I would not have seen the Instagram message, and then you would think you're a failure because you sent one message to somebody that was like fully customized and didn't work out. I only advise you go like the full length if it's something that you really, really, really want, and then you just go all out for it, right? But in this case, I look through whatever it is the person has sent, and if it's relevant, I'm booking a call. I'm calling the person directly on Instagram. They're like, let's speak right now. I want to throw money at you, like at this moment, literally. So that is an example of how relevance and credibility plays a role, or like it works together in the outreach that you're sending to people. So we've covered what makes a good outreach, what makes a good cold outreach, right? And we've covered why this is a viable, route for you to actually go through to get your first few clients or customers or whatever, right? So the next question is, who do you reach out to? Who are you actually reaching out to? And this might seem a bit obvious, and it might seem like something that you don't need to cover. It's like, who are you reaching out to? It's quite obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people get this wrong. Because remember, a part of the relevance thing is that you're reaching out to the right person at the right time and about the right thing. So if you're not reaching out to the right person, there's no point, because it's just going to, like, you're going to waste all of your time. So you need to make sure you're getting this right. And to figure out who you reach out to, there's something called your ICP. So many of you would know what this is, right? But just in case you do not know, your ICP is basically your ideal customer profile or your ideal client persona. This basically means who is the person that my offer is for. Who should I be reaching out to? Who is my target audience? Who is my avatar, right? Those are just a bunch of like different words for the same thing. Who are you reaching out to? Now, if you haven't figured out who you should be reaching out to or what your offer is for, whatever it is, right? A good target is someone who, three things. Number one, they have the problem. They have the problem you're trying to solve, right? And you can confirm that they have the problem. Sometimes you might not be able to 100% confirm, but in some cases you might be able to infer sorry, somebody said I was speaking fast. I need to slow down. You might be able to infer that they have that problem, right? In this case, you didn't know for sure that the issue that I was having was putting ideas together and planning them out, but you could infer based off of what you saw, and it was clearly like phrased like that, that was the problem. So first of all, you need to make sure that whoever you're reaching out to has that problem and you can confirm they have that problem. Number two is that you need to make sure that you can actually help that person. There is no point of going through all of this if you're reaching out to somebody that you cannot help, right? If you have not done, like, I don't know, if you do not have the experience or the know-how on helping a particular person, don't reach out to them because it's not going to work. And even if you're lucky and you get to work with the person or whatever, there's no point, right? Because it's going to fail at the end of the day. Another way to think about it for the product people is like you can actually help could be either the transformation, if you're doing like a SaaS product or something, the transformation that your SaaS product has, right? Your product can help them. And if it's a physical product, like the quality of your product, if you're looking for customers, or it could be literally anything else you're looking for, but you can help them if you're offering a service, or your product can help them, can offer the transformation that you're pitching to them. And number three is that they can afford to pay you. You don't want to reach out to people that cannot pay you, right? You want to make sure that you're reaching out to people who can actually pay you. So what does this look like? If you're offering thumbnail design, for example, I don't know if I'm speaking over the head of like a couple people. I need to look at some of the exact ideas, businesses that people are running. But if it's thumbnail design, for example, who are you reaching out to? Your ideal customer profile could be YouTubers around 20 to 50k subscribers, right? They are posting weekly and they are making their own thumbnails, right? So you're looking for 20 to 50k subscribers because, first of all, I know that I can actually, these people have a problem. If they are around 20 to 50,000 subscribers, they are posting weekly on their own, then like and they are making their own thumbnails, rather. They are making their own thumbnails, then that's a problem because they need to scale. They're probably getting to the point where they can handle all of that enough. So it might be relevant for them. Number two, you can help them. I can actually help this person by creating thumbnails. And number three is they can probably afford to pay you because 20 to 50k subs, they are earning some decent money at that point already. You might not want to go like 100k subs, 200k subs because those ones might already have systems in place and all of that. So that might be your sweet spot. I'm just like giving random examples here. Number two, another ICP example could be bridal makeup or bridal outfits, right? You could say your ICP is women engaged in the last few months and their wedding is in the next 3 to 6 months. So the reason you're reaching out to these people, I don't know anything about weddings, I beg, so don't hold me to any of this, right? But I use considering how little knowledge I have on weddings, the fact that I use this so many times in this slide is crazy to me. But anyways, I was just trying to cater to the physical service, side of things. So your ICP here could be women engaged in the last few months. So if you go engaged in the last few months, then probably what you're looking for next is wedding now. So you're my target audience. If you've got hopefully your engagement doesn't break up, but like if you've gotten engaged, then makeup and outfit is probably, especially like the women. I mean, obviously it's the women because men are not doing makeup. Anyways, that's probably on your mind. So women that are engaged in the last few months and their wedding is in the next 3 to 6 months, that might be your ICP, or is in the next month, 2 months, right? They're thinking about their outfits, all of that. You can help them. They can probably pay you because I mean they are doing their wedding, right? And they have a problem, which is they're looking for somebody reputable. In this case, they might be more skewed towards referrals because of the nature of the business. But again, random example. Number three here is if you're offering a DM or automation setup service, so you help people like automate their DMs, right, so that they can book, clients or book orders, right? The offer here or the ICP here might be online vendors that are getting a lot of questions about like their price in the comments, and then they're getting a lot of DMs like how much is this thing in the DMs and all of that. You can't keep up with all of this because if you are doing all of the posting and all of that, you're probably getting a lot of inbound. You can't keep up with it. So that person in particular, they obviously have the business, and you want to make them more money because you're doing like the automation and helping them close more deals. So that is your ICP in that case. So yeah, that is it in terms of who do you reach out to. So you want to make sure that you understand your ICP. In some cases, you might have different ICPs, right? For example, our business, we have a number of ICPs, and sometimes you want to test some messaging with this ICP, that ICP. Well, I'm not going to get into the complexity of all of that, but basically, you want to have your ICP, right? The next question is, how do you find these people? Now that I know who to reach out to. So far, let's recap, right, from the start. I understand that if I want to grow my business right now, the highest leverage thing I can do is to reach out to people that might need this service, right? It's not, I mean, you could do paid ads if you have capital and you have the skill. You could do content, you could do all the other ones. Those are longer term plays. But the highest thing right now, I can reach out to people, with a relevant message, right? And then what makes it good is relevance and credibility. I've talked about who do you actually reach out to. You define your ICP, you define your ideal customer profile, right? And the next question is, how do you find the people in your ideal customer profile? How do you find them? The question that you want to ask here is, where are they gathered? Where are they gathered? If you're reaching out to YouTubers, right? Where are YouTubers gathered, right? It's pretty straightforward for YouTubers because you can just search on YouTube, right? Search for your particular niche that you're interested in, or if you're not fixed towards one niche, whatever it is. I don't know what the nature of your business is, right? But you can search on YouTube, find their emails, right? On YouTube, literally, there's like a function to do that. Find their emails, and then you can check, do they have this many subscribers? Are they editing their thumbnails themselves? Sometimes you can infer if their thumbnails are really bad and you think you can help them improve it. You could still decide to reach out to those people. You can check creator communities. Social Bridge is like a platform for YouTubers. Anyways, brides to be, you probably want to check all those, I don't know, Bella Naija, I don't know, again, I don't know the national about this brides thing here, but you can check for those kinds of people, right? On Instagram, on TikTok, or whatever. Proposal hashtags for online vendors. Look for brands on Instagram and TikTok. You basically want to have an idea, okay, the people that I'm trying to reach out to, this is my target audience, where are they gathered, where are they concentrated? And that is where you want to focus your efforts on, right? And find these people that you have already defined, previously. So that answers the question of who should you be reaching out to, and where do you find, or how do you find the people that you're supposed to be reaching out to? The next thing after that, so far, I'm just trying to recap so that I make sure that we're all on the same page, right? Now we know we need to reach out to somebody, and then I know who I should reach out to. I have my ICP. I know where to find my ICP. I found some YouTubers in like this place. I have a list of them that I want to reach out to. I understand, that I need to reach out to them. The next thing is like, you need to get clear on your offer. What do you do? If you cannot summarize what you do, then they would not understand it either. If you can't take the time to actually process, what do I actually do? What am I offering? Your offer is basically what you're offering, right? So what am I offering to these people? Right? If you can't summarize that, then they won't understand it either. So this is a very, very, very watered down offer framework, but I think it should pass for this session. If you are watching, you probably want to get clearer information on like offer. There's this book, it's called $100 Million Offers. I have like the hard copy here. It's by Alex Hormozy. Probably want to read that a couple of times because it's a really good book and it's very practical. You can just follow the framework there to figure out your offer. But something that we'll do for this session is you need to get clear and have a sentence, right? I help this person to do this thing. And then there are some optional, things that you can add. I help this person to do this thing without this pain. Or I help this person to do this thing without, using what they already have, right? Something that they already have. I help fathers in their, or let's say I help fathers in their 40s. The name of the book is, sorry, I just saw that comment. $100 Million Offers is by Alex Hormozy. Somebody could please drop it in the chat if you know it. Okay, so I help this person to get this result, right? So they can get a bigger goal. I help this person to get this result, even if something. So I'll show you a couple of examples here. Okay, I think I have examples, but one example off the top of my head could be, I help, what do they call women that just give birth? I don't know. I should probably use another archetype. Let me just say, I help men in their 40s get fit without going to the gym. So I help working class men in their 40s, get fit without going to the gym. That could be a sample example of one. Okay, thank you for posting it in the comments. That could be a sample of like an offer. I help men in their 40s get fit without going to the gym. What it does there is like it clarifies what exactly you're offering, and the who there, that particular place is filled in by your ICP. Right, so your ICP, if we go back again, I might be spending too much time on this, but like going back again, men in their 40s, what's the problem? They want to get fit, but like maybe oversized men in their 40s or something. They want to get fit, but then they don't want to go to the gym. They have work and they have all of that. So that's a problem. Can you actually help them? If you can, and men in their 40s, they are working class, they have money, right? Depending on the working class that they are working, but like assumably they have, is assumably a word. They shall have money. That's the assumption that we're making here, right? So that's like how you can think about the offer framework. And then the rule here, or how you want to think about this, is like you want to lead with the results, not the activity. So one thing people say is like, oh, I do thumbnail design, or oh, I have a software that automates your operations, or I have and I think a lot of times some people get pride in complicating the offering that you have, right? And you're saying I help grown men to align their identity with their true self. This is a terrible example, but you hear different things like that, and it's like, this is unnecessarily complicated. Like, just make it clear what transformation you have and what transformation you're actually delivering to people. So for example, here it's like, I help instead of saying I do thumbnail design, oh, what do you do? I do thumbnail design, and you send it, oh, like in that earlier example that we sent here of like the left and right, hi, I build websites. Do you need a website? Let me know. That's a terrible way to reach out to somebody versus saying I help I help I help service businesses, or if you want to even niche it down, I help online salons increase their conversions or increase their walk-ins by optimizing their websites, right? So that's like an offer, right? And you're focusing on the results instead of the actual activity. Even if you just build websites, it's like, what is the end goal of the websites that you're building? What's the end goal of the products that you have? If you don't have a clear understanding on the end goal or the transformation that the product or the service that you're delivering is or has, then you need to spend some time thinking about that, because you need to get clear on a lot of these things. Like, even if you're not doing code outreach, if it's ads you want to do, or whatever content, you need to get clear on these things. Understand who you're reaching out to, understand how to find them, understand what you're offering to them, and get clear on it, right? So some examples of offers here. This was the one that I had for my short form content the other time. I help Forex traders. Ideally, it was Forex mentors. So I help Forex mentors grow their personal brand without spending extra time using content they already have. Now, the idea here was like, okay, who's my ICP? Forex mentors, people that are mentoring Forex, like they are growing their personal brand, mentor in the Forex space. It's relevant to them because they are trying to grow their personal brand. If they grow their personal brand, they make more money because they are selling courses and mentorships and all of those things, right? And the idea here is like, I can help you do this. But when I say I can help you grow your personal brand, what might automatically come to your mind is that, oh, I'm going to need to spend a lot of time and a lot of effort to film, and then I have to script it and I have to do all of that. But I'm saying, oh, I help you do all of that, but you don't need to spend any extra time, and I'm using the content that you already have. So you literally don't need to do anything. I help you do this without doing anything. So that's like the risk reversal, or like the, I can't remember what Homozy calls it, but that's basically like helping them, reducing their barrier to the offer, and having them be more receptive to the offer that it is that you're giving them. So I help Forex traders grow their personal brand without spending extra time using content they already have. Number two example here is I help brides look flawless on their wedding day without breaking the bank. So I help brides look flawless, which is the outcome. I help you look flawless. Everybody wants to look flawless on their wedding day, right? Without breaking the bank. But it's like, if I help you look flawless and my stuff is good, maybe you look at my Instagram page and you see all the dresses and everything, you might be thinking, oh, more, this is a lot and this might be blah 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 blah. Whereas, but I say, oh, without breaking the bank, like you don't need to spend too much money. This is actually affordable. That might be interesting, right? Instead of saying I'm a tailor, or I tailor clothes, or I'm a fashion designer, I design fashion or whatever. Anyways, I help small online brands turn their DMs into actual orders. So instead of saying, oh, I do automation, right? I automate DMs or something, right? I help small online brands, which is your ICP, online brands that are small, right? I help small online brands turn their DMs into actual orders. And something you might be thinking here, you can kind of like customize this based off of the person you're reaching out to. So for example, one of the things we're currently testing at my like the business that I run is we're trying to test different avatars. We're trying to test different client personas. So when I'm reaching out to somebody, oh, we've completed over 60 placements with AI agency owners, or we've completed over 60 placements with agencies like yours. If I'm reaching out to a marketing agency, we've completed, so you can kind of like tweak that, right? I help dental clinics do this, or I help I don't know, salons do this, or you can kind of like customize it, right? So instead of saying, oh, I do automations, or I do DM automation, or whatever, I help small online brands turn their DMs into actual orders. That is interesting. That's an offer. That's a transformation that you're offering to somebody, right? And the fourth point here is I help YouTubers get more views with thumbnails people actually click. Instead of saying I design thumbnails, or I'm a graphic designer, this is my portfolio, or I design, like when you say it like that, it sounds like you're begging low-key. Like, I do design, I beg, come and buy my markets. Like, I do design, I design thumbnails, right? Versus, oh, I'm actually offering a transformation for you. Like, I help YouTubers get more views with thumbnails people actually click. So that's the offer that you're giving, or that's the offer that you're selling to people. So we have covered quite a number of things. I feel like I should stop doing this because it's getting kind of like repetitive. But who do you reach out to? We've said you've defined your ICP. At this point, you would know, if you go through this, you know who you are reaching out to. I have an idea. Okay, these are the types of people I'm reaching out to. They can afford to pay me. I can actually help them. They actually have a problem. I've confirmed they have a problem. Number two, I know where to find them. I found this community. I know this other place. I can check on this particular Instagram thread or that thing. I know where I can find these people. Now, what am I actually even offering to them? I know what I'm offering to them. I have my offer. The offer is pretty straightforward. I know what I'm offering. At that point, the next thing that you now need to worry about is, what do you actually send? How do you write the message that you're sending to them after you figured out all those other things, right? So the message, 4 parts. There are 4 parts to the message that you're going to be sending, but let me confirm if people are actually following. Can you guys let me know if you're following at the moment? If you're following and you're getting some form of value from this, please let me know. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to, like, if you drop them, I might have to come back to them, but like, please let me know if you are following. Okay, awesome. Awesome. Okay, so um what do you actually say to these people when you're reaching out to somebody for your business or whatever? What do you actually say? Right? There are four parts for the message that you want to craft, and this is kind of like the structure. This is a loose framework, but it gives like a mental model that you can kind of follow to make it work, right? So first of all, you need to do your research and lead with it. Open about them, right? If you're reaching out to somebody, what makes your research different from other people's own and what makes it relevant is that you've actually done some research and you understand, the archetype, you understand the situation that this person is. It doesn't need to take forever. Look through their pages, look through whatever, ask somebody about them, different mediums, different ways you could go about this, but you kind of want to do your research and lead with it, open with it, right? It helps because you just establish connection. In the world of outreach, they call this either like icebreakers or personalized first lines or whatever, but you're reaching out, oh, hey, Biodun, I saw your, oh, congratulations on your this, I saw this other thing, right? You kind of like want to, lead with that. The second thing you want to do is to name the problem. Name the problem. What is the problem? What is the thing that you're actually reaching out about? Then number three is kind of like your offer. I missed the offer part here. I don't know how I missed that, but your offer, then your proof for credibility, and then number four is your ask. What do you want? I see a lot of times too, you could send messages to people and then you don't actually ask for something at the end. If you send a message to somebody and you don't have the CTA, it's called a call to action, a CTA. That's what it's called, right? And ask at the end. It's like, what is the thing? You want to kind of make it easy for people. I'll get into more details on this, but you want to, okay, I'm actually not getting into more details, so I'm just going to expand on this. Okay, I should expand on all of this. But for the small ask, you want to make it easy for somebody to reply to you, right? If you send all of those details, what's the thing you're asking for? So you could just say, oh, could this be relevant for you? Or is this something that you're open to speaking about? Or do you have 15 minutes this week to chat about it? Or can I send the documents, the full strategy over, right? You want to have an ask rather at the ending of whatever it is you're selling. So number one, do your research and lead with it. Do your research on the people. Find something that actually, extra plus if you are, sorry, I just saw a comment that caught my eye. Okay, the person deleted it. The person that posted about B2B versus B2C, I would like to actually see that comment. It looked interesting for a minute before you deleted it. So lead with that thing that you're offering, right? Number two is naming the problem. Name the problem, right? What problem is it? I'll show you some examples in a bit. Number three, like we've mentioned, your offer, your proof, credibility. And number four is a small ask. You want to ask something at the end of the message that you're sending. So this is an example, right? Back then when I was sending, it was something similar to this. I don't think I wrote it this way, but I just rewrote this, but it's totally fine, right? So hey Habi, right? This is the person I was reaching out to back then. I noticed you're not actively posting on TikTok anymore. I'm guessing it's because you've been busy with the launch of your trading floor in Abuja. I'm reaching out because I help Forex mentors get more views without spending extra time using contents they already have. I've attached the video I edited for you. Could this be relevant? Right. So that could be one way you phrase it. If we break it down here, number one, we're starting with personalization. We're starting with research, showing that I actually researched. I noticed this particular thing, right? That's kind of like the problem that I'm, leading with. And I'm guessing it's because you've been busy with the launch of your trading floor in Abuja. This person is actually, it makes it feel a bit warm because it's like this person knows you, this person knows something about you. It's not some message that they just copied and pasted every single, in different places, right? It's more relevant. There's that relevance, which we've talked about before. I'm reaching out because this is my offer. This is why I'm reaching out. I'm reaching out because I help Forex mentors get more views without spending extra time using contents they already have, right? In the message that we send for our business is something along the lines of I'm asking because we've placed over 60 automation developers with AI agency owners. So that way I'm telling them my offer. This is my offer. We place developers with AI agency owners, right? But then I also kind of like mixed social proof in there. We've placed over 60, right? So it's like social proof plus my offer kind of like together. Here, the credibility that we're doing is like actually sending a video. So in this case, if I don't have anything that I've done before, in terms of like clients I've worked with or, offers, then I can send this. Thinking about it now, I understand how this might be very skewed towards. That was what I was curious to see that comments. This might be very skewed towards B2B, not B2C. If you have examples of like B2C people, business to customers, please leave examples and we could brainstorm on it. Ideally, I'm not sure like cold outreach would be the best method or like the primary method for trying to get clients via for B2C products, but it might come in handy. It might not be like reaching out to customers per se, because if what you're sending is like 2.5 and you're sending code outreach everywhere, even if it's 10k 20k and you're sending code outreach, then it might not be the most effective way to go about it. Probably like content and paid ads might be more relevant, right? But it depends on what you're reaching out for, who you're reaching out to. If you're trying to reach out to a supplier, right, or if you're trying to reach out to somebody that owns a store that they could put it in, right, or you're trying to do something that's like you're reaching out to one person that can help you to get more customers, then that might be more relevant for you. So I do understand that nuance of it being more relevant for somebody else. Okay, the question was, the person just dropped it back. Sheshe I believe is the name. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Any distinction to take note of when reaching out in B2B outreach versus B2C outreach? Again, like I mentioned, I think this works better when your product is not like super expensive. But even if it's like cheap and you just want to get the ground, like you want to get off the ground, you want to get things moving. Makeup artist, you don't have any clients and you also want to spam, you want to get somebody, you want to get a few people. Makeup is not necessarily like super cheap, but it might be a strategy that you try. I don't think it's very scalable for B2C. I don't have any experience in B2C, so I can't really talk about that. The experience I had with B2C, I was using other marketing channels in the past, trying ads and reaching out in communities and kind of like doing things that don't scale. But if you are familiar with Y Combinator, one of the things they mentioned, like if you're trying to scale anything, is doing things that don't scale. This is one of those things in the context of B2C that doesn't scale. And it might help you get the first few people, get the ball rolling, get the momentum going, especially if you don't even know how to go about it. And you want to get the first few people to test your product, test your offer on, and see if it works or if it doesn't work. Right, so I have broken down how like this message is crafted. Another one here, this is again the bridal makeup thing that I don't know why I keep adding in this thing, but anyways, hey Debbie, I saw your engagement post. Congratulations. Right, have you started figuring out your bridal makeup and outfits yet? I'm a bridal makeup artist in Lekki. I've done Ada and Tiwa's weddings, assuming they know those people, right? I have a couple of looks I think would suit you. Can I send over the catalog? So this, if we break it down again, it doesn't have to be like super long, right? It doesn't have to be you craft one long message, because a lot of times too, you can kind of shoot yourself in the foot, except what you're sending is like super researched and super detailed and super like, I'm going to read whatever this is because it's super interesting to me. But if you're just writing, oh, we offer this service and we can offer this service as well. If you don't want that one, we can offer this one too. And if you don't want that one, we can offer this one. And then we help, that identity thing that I was saying, trying to make I was about to say convolute your offer. I feel like that's one of those words that I've actually never used. I don't even know if I'm using that correctly. But anyways, just make your thing harder to understand. You're shooting yourself in the foot because what you're explaining and what you're doing is not very clear to the person that is receiving it, right? So, hey Debbie, I saw your engagement post. Congratulations. Oh, thank you very much. Have you started? It's kind of like a friend. Like, have you started figuring out your bridal makeup and outfits? It's like, oh my god, I don't know if I should be doing this, like mimicking girls. Anyways, but like, have you started figuring out your bridal makeup and outfit here? It's like, oh, I'm actually thinking about that. Assuming the person's thinking about it. I actually haven't thought about it. I'm trying to think about it. It's something that might be relevant. I'm a bridal makeup artist in Lekki. Assuming the person is in Lekki as well. I mean, the wedding might not be in Lekki, but you kind of get the point, right? I'm a bridal makeup artist in Lekki. I've done Ada and Tiwa's weddings. Like, oh, this person was done for this person, assuming they also know Ada and Tiwa. Ada and Tiwa are in their network, is people that they know, or Ada and Tiwa are like popular people, right? I did this person and this person's wedding, right? I have a couple looks I think would suit you. So imagine you just stopped at like, I've done Ada and Tiwa's wedding. Let's hop on a call or something. Like at that point, you've not earned the reason, you've not earned, the credibility to make this work. Okay, I guess with the proof there, I've done Ada and Tiwa's wedding. That kind of like is the proof there, and then you're offering value up front. I have a couple of looks I think would suit you. Can I send over the catalog? So in this case, you don't necessarily need to have created the catalog. If you reach out to a couple of people and then you say, can I send this over? Or can I send over a Loom video explaining how it works? Even if it's a B2B, B2C startup product and you want to like get the first few people, startup SaaS, right? And then you're reaching out and saying, oh, this is what our product does. I have a XYZ transformation. Can I send it over to you? If you're doing website conversions, I'm feeling bad because I'm skewing this a lot to B2B versus B2C. But again, that's where most of my experience is. So I apologize for that. But you can kind of like use the same frameworks and apply it for whatever situation you're in, right? But if you're doing website conversions, I looked at your website and, I noticed a couple of opportunities for, improving conversions. I've actually helped this and this person, before. Or you just say that, and then I created a video, I filmed a video walking through the different things that I could do to improve your conversions. Could this be relevant? Or you could add a guarantee of some sort. I'm trying to think of how that would work. If you add a guarantee, like if it doesn't work, or if you don't get up to 5% conversion within the first 30 days working with me, then you don't pay anything or something like that. So you're reducing the risk and making it easier for the person to reply. So what you need to think about here, you need to kind of like go back to those two different frameworks. Number one is credibility. Number one is relevance, and number two is credibility, right? You're constantly thinking about those two things. Credibility, relevance, is this going to be relevant for the person I'm sending it to? And do I show that I can do this thing? And to cover relevance and credibility, it doesn't need to be a long message. You can do that within a shorter, more crisp message that you're sending to somebody. This was another one that I just spun up. I did all of this in Cloud Code, by the way, so like there might be some errors here and there. Anyways, hey name, congrats on your page blowing up. Okay, this was that online brand example I was using earlier. Congrats on your page blowing up. Or I saw you've grown X amount of followers or something like that. I noticed you've been answering a lot of price questions by hand. Is keeping up with your DM starting to get overwhelming? So that's kind of like the problem, right? Is keeping up with your DM starting to get overwhelming? And assuming if their page is blowing up, right, and you're getting a lot of questions, obviously they're a brand, they want to capture more of that value, right? And then you're saying, is it getting overwhelming? You're struggling to do this. They're probably having sleepless nights trying to reply to everybody and make sure they can book more business and all that. Is it overwhelming? It's like, yes, oh my God, the page has been blown up and this is actually overwhelming. I'm asking because I've set up simple auto replies and other pages for brands like X and Y. Or if you don't have that proof, it's fine, right? I'm asking because I help small online brands set up auto replies and other pages, right? I put together, sometimes you don't even need the proof. A lot of the time, so if you remove the proof, I put together and then you send something up front, that kind of like covers the credibility part. I put together a sample flow to increase your booking rates by 25%. Can I send it over? Or I've attached it below. If you don't want to send it over, and if the message is good enough, you can get away with like, can I send it over? And they're like, yeah, please send it over. And then you go and create it. So that way you can send a lot more outreach. So you can send like 100, 200, 300 people, right? And only the people that say yes, send it over, do you then like send it over? So you don't have to go through all the stress of like writing something and building it and filming a video for somebody that's not even going to reply in the first place, right? So yeah, that's it for this example. So far, again, the annoying thing that I keep doing, which is going over everything from scratch again. We've talked about why you should do cold outreach and if it might be a fit or not. We've talked about who to reach out to. We've talked about how you find those people to reach out to. We've talked about getting clear on your offer, understanding what exactly you're reaching out to them about, and then we've covered what to actually say to them, right? How to think about what to say to them, and this is something that you can kind of like get good with over time. The next question is how many? That's probably some questions that you might have in mind. It's like, how many of them should you be sending? How often should you be doing it, right? Those are kind of like relevant questions. So for volume and follow-up, I just have like a couple, points here. Number one is you probably want to set a cadence and the time of day you do this. Back then, I remember when I started the short form content agency, it was during my IT, just before I went on IT. So I had during my IT, the first half of my IT was horrible. I was doing, what was I doing? I was working at a software development agency and I hated it. So instead of me to be working, I had this spreadsheet, right, that I was using to track everything, and I'm writing down who I'm reaching out to, what message, and I booked quite a number of calls. It still surprises me today, like a couple people. Now I've kind of like gotten used to, the process of like getting on a call with a foreign person and having the call and selling them or whatever, and then closing the deal after. But back then it was a big deal. Like I was, I don't know, 18 or 19 or something. And I can't remember how old I was, but it was 2 years ago. I'm 22 now, so you can kind of reverse it. I was 19, 18, 19, thereabout, and 300 level. And I would just set, this is how many outreaches I want to do today. And I'm writing everything, having somebody film the video. At that time, I had a couple of my friends helping with that. I just like sold them on the idea. I didn't pay them anything, but like they were helping out with this. I was telling them that they're getting experience. So that was kind of like how it was. And then we would churn out outreach and be sending it. And I booked quite a number of calls. And one thing that helped as well, just thinking about it off the top of my head right now, was when I was doing the offer, right, I was sending a sample video. I remember I sent a sample video to Kojo, and then he was still a bit skeptical after I sent the sample. The sample video was good. It was better than anything he had on his profile, respectfully. And this replay is going to be live after. Anyways, it was very good. And then he posted it on his page and he got like, I don't know, maybe 200, 300,000 views or something crazy like that. Same thing with Habi. The first video he posted got like 100,000 views on TikTok. Kojo's one was on Instagram. There was this other woman that was being a bit skeptical. I followed up a couple of times and I just sent a sample to her. And then she posted it. Her average views were like 2,000, not even up to 2,000. 2,000 is generous. Maybe like 300 views, 500 views. This video got like 100,000 views, right? And then eventually, I think we closed off like $200 a month or something like that. We didn't end up working on too long. But anyways, um, the idea there is like if you're sending something up front and like it's something that they can test or they can use or actually look through and it's high quality, that might be helpful. It can be the tipping points, which is why you want to make sure like you're offering whatever you're delivering, the deliverable is actually good. So your offer or your product or whatever is actually good, right? And I would say set a cadence for it and a time of day you do this. It doesn't have to be a time of day. I'm not a fan of routines like that. Many people would disagree. As far as I'm concerned, I just have a to-do list. I need to do this today, so I'm going to do it, right? So you need to set a cadence of like, okay, I want to do this many days. So the benchmark, I would say maybe aim for 20 a day. This might be unrealistic depending on if you're filming, editing videos for people and you want to do that, maybe it's only like 10 videos a day, 10 outreaches a week you're able to do. But then if you're doing lower volume, you need to increase your attention to detail on the relevant side because who you are sending it to, you need to be relevant. And if you're sending only 10 videos a week, 10 pieces of outreach, 10 outreaches a week, you need to follow up and hit them on all the different channels. I'll reach out on email, I'll send you Instagram DM that I've sent it, I would, hit them everywhere. Obviously, you don't want to like spam people, right? But yeah, the benchmark there is to aim for about 20 a day, right? And then the final point here is people are busy, not ignoring you. Feel free to follow up with those who don't reply, right? So when you send out an outreach to somebody and they don't reply to you, or you send 10 and you hear nothing back, don't assume that everybody in the world hates you and like, come on, because it can get quite depressing. I'm not even going to lie. Let me just be honest about it. I think the thing about other outreach, other marketing channels are more fun in my opinion, right? Posting content is a bit more fun. Assuming you're getting views, if you're not getting views and you're posting content, it's very depressing. But assuming you're getting views, it's very fun. You get that dopamine hit. I know that if I post on my YouTube channel today, I'll get a couple thousand people watch it. And if I actually pay attention and actually do the video very well, I know I can scale my channel. I just don't do that because that's not the game I'm playing currently. But like I know I can do that. On Instagram, I grew from like, I don't know, 600 followers or something. So like it's now like 3,600. It was only a couple pieces of content I put on there. So it's more fun because you're getting that dopamine hit. Although I'm not closing business, but I know if I wanted to monetize that, that could be a direction I go. Then paid ads is also fun because you're spending money. I did paid ads for like my first proper business back when I was in secondary school. We're selling math courses. So we're teaching people math. So we make math courses. We made like 100K from like doing cold calls. I was doing cold calls back then, like SS3. And then the way we closed, so after making a couple of, like 100,000 thereabouts from doing all of that, we started to run paid ads. We spent like 70K on paid ads. We didn't make, I think we only closed one client from paid ads. The remaining 30K, we just split it half and half. My friend and I, take your 15K, take 15K. We closed the business. We said we're not doing it again. Which was very dumb thinking about it now, but it's more fun. It was fun because we were spending money, we were throwing money in Meta. Okay, let's do under $10, let's do under $10, let's do under $10. It's stupid as well because we're making money in Naira and it was in like dollars. We spent like maybe $20 a day or something stupid like that. So we only ran it for like 2 days. It was dumb. Anyways, but those ones are more fun or can be more fun. But when it comes to cold outreach, it can be a bit more depressing. Even recently, like transparently, right now, my teammate is here. If we're trying to figure out at scale, so we're doing this but at scale. At some points last week we were sending like super high volume, which is like another world to it. It's called goes to market engineering and like doing emails at scale, right? At some points we're sending like, I think right now we're sending about 500 emails a day. At some points last week we're doing like 1,000 emails per day. So there's the infrastructure and all of that for it. But there's like sometimes you send emails to people and they don't respond and it can get depressing. And I think there's the tendency or the let me look for one big word. Damn it, I can't think of the word. But there's the tendency, there's the possibility, there's the I can't find the word, but you can sometimes be tempted to feel, I should have just said that from the start. Sometimes you might be tempted to think that like it's a reflection of yourself, right? You want to be able to separate. I'm giving you advice that I'm not very good at, but like you want to be able to separate how your campaigns are performing and how your business is doing from your own person, right? I say that knowing that I don't fully follow that advice because sometimes when the business is not working, then it's like nobody's replying to my outreach, nobody. So you need to understand that that's something to expect, especially when you're doing cold outreach. And when you do this at like over time, I think one thing that helps, I think maybe the Forex background that I had before like helps me. it can kind of like break your heart, but you need to get good at that. Like just numb yourself. What you're trying to do here at the end of the day is volume. I'm seeing somebody saying it's blank. Can you guys still hear me fine? God, I beg. Can you guys hear me fine? Can you guys hear me fine? Oh my God, it said it's back now. That's a problem. Could you guys hear me? Okay, I'm saying yes, we can. Okay, so I'm just going to continue. So what you need to do here is be okay with following up with people. Aim for 20 a day, right? At least for a start, anyways, and you can kind of like scale that, even get people to help out with that. Scale that, and then follow up with people. An example, actually thinking about it now, is one person that we reached out to before, because we just changed our offer and we're trying to get clients for something. And we reached out to somebody, sent the first email, second email. I think he replied on the second email. Then after that, he was like, "Oh, send me more information." So I sent him the information, the breakdown on how it works. And he didn't reply to that. There's like an automation that we have where we send 5 emails after that just to follow up with the person. Don't send 5 emails if the person has not responded to you. That's not a very good way to go about it. But this person had already showed interest before. So we just sent 5 emails. We sent the first one, 2 days after the second one. That's how the automation works. I'm not doing this manually. 2 days after the third one, 2 days after the fourth one, 2 days after the fifth one. It was on the fifth one where I was saying, like, okay, it seems like this is not a fit. But if it is, like, here's my booking link, you can book a call. If not, that was when the guy booked a call. So if I just stopped initially, like, I would have assumed that, okay, this is not relevant. But since we have that going, it was on the fifth one. And that's not the first time it happened. I think it has happened like twice now. Sometimes people are just busy, they're not ignoring you. Maybe you send the message at a time that isn't relevant, or a time that, like, they are not actively there, or they can't reply, or they're on vacation, or whatever it is, right? So feel free to follow up with people and have a benchmark of about 20 a day. And on the next point, you want to stay consistent, right? I don't know how this like go here, is it? Anyways, decide how many people you want to reach out to and do it consistently. Like I said, pick a cadence, reach out to people consistently. And then, like I already mentioned, ghosting and no replies is normal. Like if somebody doesn't reply to you, don't take it as like I don't know if you are the type of person that, like, if you text somebody on WhatsApp and they don't get back to you and you get angry, then you need to sit down and reflect on your life. Why you are getting angry that somebody not reply to you? It is a part of life. In this, if that hurts you, then this is going to be more painful, because you need to be able to send messages out to people, and then if they don't reply, you follow up. Like, just understand that it's not a tell on yourself or what they think about you. It is just a sign that this particular message that you're reaching out to somebody with is either not relevant, or whatever you're sending is not credible enough. And in some cases, like, it just isn't the right person, the right time. It's all right, you move on to another person, right? There's always going to be a funnel. It is not everybody you reach out to that is going to go through that funnel. If it is that way, then it's not a funnel. It's what's this thing called? God, I need to go back to school. Anyways, it is like a rectangular spherical thing. I don't know what that is called. Is that a cylinder? I think that's what a cylinder is. God, I'm embarrassing myself. So that is what it is, right? It is not a funnel. If it is a funnel, then the people that are coming out at the top, right? It's not everybody that you reach out to that will get to the bottom. Is the point that I'm trying to make. So that is why it's a volume game. It is not a sign that you failed. It is a volume game. So the equation here, and what I want you to go away with, if you're still watching at this point, which, thank you for staying this long on the call. I feel like I've been talking for forever and my mouth is paining me now. But the equation that you want to have in mind is, number one, relevant messages. If you're sending a message that is relevant to somebody, this is relevant. It's a relevant message. You've gone through the process that I mentioned earlier. You're sending a message to somebody at the right time with the right offer about the right thing, the right person, right time, right thing, right? And you're sending it to the right people, and you're actually good at what you do, right? This is another side of it. If you're not good at what you do, please spend more time on the skill building side and not on the other parts. If you can't deliver on the offer that you're sending, then you don't need to even do any form of marketing. Do something where you feel like you can actually deliver on it. And if you can't deliver on anything, then promote somebody else's offer and be an affiliate for them or something, right? But you want to make sure you're sending a relevant message to the right person and you're actually good at what you do. And if you do it at enough volume, then you will get clients, you will get opportunities come out from it. That's kind of like the process you need to go through. Go out there, understand that, like, you don't need to wait for the opportunities to come to you. You can actually proactively go out, find those opportunities, reach out to people, and control, that lever to get the opportunities that you want. Is how I like to think about it. Instead of just sitting there and be like, oh, business is not moving. Are you doing anything about it to try to get people and close people, right? So final slide that I have here is your homework. I don't know who I am to be giving you homework, so I should probably have changed that title anyways, but it's suggestive homework. Let's make it sound a bit nicer. Number one, this night, if you can, put together a plan. Like go through this. I'll probably leave a link to the I'll send it to Bolu, like the link to the slides. I'll probably have to upload it first, like a HTML docs. It's not an actual slide. But anyways, put it somewhere so that you guys can access it in case you want to look through all of this again. Put together a plan tonight. Today is Sunday. Spend some time, like an hour or two. It's pretty late already. If you sleep early, do it tomorrow morning, whatever. But put together a plan tonight and then start sending tomorrow, even if it's a small number. I think where you don't want to be is a point where, which is kind of like the last point here, don't spend too much time planning. The sending is what gets you clients. Planning is not going to get you clients. You can sit down and plan and be like, okay, I'll send this message to this person and then this ICP and then this other ICP and then this other ICP and then I'm going to send this message to this person and this structure for this person and that other thing for that person. But that's not what you want to do. You want to send. If you're not getting messages out, if you're not sending anything to somebody, I talked to Ife, who is my like colleague. He helps with like the GTM stuff. We talk about this all the time. Like the inboxes need to be moving. Like I need to be reaching out to people. If you're not sending anything to anybody, whether it's a good message, it's a bad message. I mean, obviously you want the messages to be decent. And if you don't have that many people to reach out to, and it's only like a small, your TAM, your total addressable market, or the subset of people in your ICP is like very small, then you want to like make sure what you are sending is actually relevant and it makes sense, right? But if there's many people, if you're reaching out to YouTubers with 20 to 50K, so like send messages. Just make sure you're sending because that's what is going to get you, clients. You don't want to wait and make sure everything is perfect. As you start, you can start to refine things, and make sure it's better, and then, send those out. So yeah, that's the last slide that I have. That's all I have. I don't know if we'll be able to take questions. I don't know if I should do that now, wait for Bolu to come back. But I think I'll just try to do a couple questions now. Bolu, if you're there, you could kind of like cut me off. Although when you're live, I can't hear you for some reason, like it lags. But anyways, that's it from my end. Thank you guys very much for being here. If you want to drop some questions, I'm happy to answer any questions that anybody has, and then we could talk about it. And after that, I would hand over to Bolu completely. So I'm expecting questions, waiting for questions.
Okay.
If there are any questions, I'll just wait for like 1-2 minutes. If there's no question, then I'll just move
I
on.
can see that.
And hi, Christine. It's nice to see you.
His voice is just the same, monotone, all the way through. Right? How have we noticed it? Same.
Okay. So a question. I'm seeing a couple questions.
Consistently.
A question.
Right, so first of all, thank you so much.
That I saw is, what do you do to make sure you don't get stuck planning instead of taking action? Because people join sessions like this all year long and take no action to start or improve how they do business. Like it's literally just do it, man. Like just start sending. I was in a call with a friend yesterday, and it was even reminding me of this because I want to start like a different page for my business to try to get foreign clients on IG. But it's like a different page, and it was like, bro, just post the first video, bro. It's not even that. Like just post the first video. I think that's kind of like how it goes for people where you're overthinking things. Like just do it. Just do it. Like this one is even better because you're not posting content. If you was posting content, you're putting your message into the. Somebody says they can't hear me. God, I beg. I hope you guys can hear me. So if you're posting content and it's the whole world, is one to many. If you go back to this this charts that I had earlier, where it says warm outreach, posting content, cold outreach, paid ads, right? If it's one to many, which is this category over here, right? Posting content is such that you are putting something for the whole world to see it, right? And if you're doing that, then, there's a reason to be scared. But this one, nobody else sees it. It's cold outreach. You're just reaching out and nobody else can actually see it. So there's no point being scared doing something like that, right? And if we just send messages out. Nobody else sees it except the person that's receiving it. If it flops, what's the worst that can happen? The person doesn't reply and you move on. And like I said, you need to get good at like just being numb to rejection, because that would help you a lot, because you're going to face a ton of rejection with whatever it is that you're doing. Second question is, could you please share any aha moments while doing outreach? Aha moments while doing outreach. Ooh, how do I do this? I think this might be helpful, just motivation wise, to show you that this actually works. I don't know if I could show sample emails, but I could share examples just off the top of my head. First of all, I have a video on my channel. My channel is Eyitemi. Let me see if I could pull it up. Eyitemi. Let me find the actual video. This was how I got my job, right? This was how I got my job. The way I got my job, I broke down the exact email that I sent, everything. If you're looking for a job as backup plan, if your business doesn't work as you're leaving school, you can use it, right? But I have posted the video. in the chat, right? That was how I got my first job, right? And for business, right, I've closed a lot of the clients that I've worked with. Somebody that I reached out to, this was on LinkedIn, where he eventually hired like 4 people, right, from us. He had 4 people from us, and we made a good, like, it was about $2,000 was how much we charged for that. So that was very nice. I have somebody who I got that client through cold outreach. He has hired 4 people. He's looking to hire 2 more people. That would be about $3,000, right, with the formal model that we were running. So that's not bad at all, right? So most of these people was through cold outreach, and it was through the same exact framework that I've shown you here today, right? So the sky is really your, is it sky is your ceiling? I think that's the wrong way. They say sky is your starting point, so the sky is your starting point. Even though that doesn't make sense to me. Anyways, but essentially it's limitless in terms of what you could actually achieve with it, because you're reaching out to people, and if it's relevant, and if you think this is something like, oh, it doesn't work at scale, and like it's the bigger businesses, right? The big B2B businesses, that's what they do to get clients, reaching out to people. There's a whole career that's literally dedicated to this. It's called GTM engineering, and that's what they do. So I've had many aha moments, and that's what I'm doing. That's like my main channel for getting clients with my business and what we're currently focused on. We're testing other things. I want to start with posting content as well, and then I'm doing like paid sponsorships for newsletters. That's something we're trying to figure out, but it works, and it's been very beneficial for me. So yeah, that's kind of like my own testimonial in that sense. But yeah, it seems like there are no other questions. That is it from me. Thank you guys very much for your time, and hopefully we catch at another point in the future. You can follow me on Instagram if you want to connect, by the way, at Eyitemi Fadayomi. But that's pretty much it. I don't have anything else. Thank you guys very much. Bye bye. Or I'll just wait for Bulu to join or something.
Okay, so thank you so much, Eyitemi. Can you hear me? I need to confirm that. Eyitemi, can you hear me? Thank you so much, Eyitemi.
Yeah, I can hear you, but it's delayed. That's the issue.
Yeah, Eyitemi, can you hear me? Maybe, you know what? Maybe just give me feedback that I just need to be sure
I
that
can
you
hear
can
you,
hear me
Bolu, but it's
easily.
just delayed. There's a bit of a lag. That's the issue. That's the problem.
Even if it's maybe you type in the chat box or something, send me a message if you can hear me. I just need to be sure that you can hear me. Okay. I think that session was very fantastic. Give me a sec. I need to get a feedback from Eyitemi. Message. Send me a message, Eyitemi. I don't know. For some reason, he cannot hear me. Just send me a message on WhatsApp. Back to what I was saying. I think that session was fantastic, and I don't just think it was fantastic. I think it was practically fantastic. All right. And remember when I was introducing Eyitemi, I said one of the core things is Eyitemi is a ridiculous executor. So he just gets the stuff done. Like he just gets it done. All right. Okay. So Eyitemi, I'll just bounce off with you on WhatsApp. So I said he just gets stuff done. And when you are getting lessons from somebody who is actually getting stuff done, I think it's very different from when you're getting lessons from somebody who is, you get read stuff, yada 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 yada. Everything ATV says, he actually does it. I know this real time. So thank you so much for taking our time. Like I said, jokingly, seriously, you find out that when you have plenty money, your voice will now be low. You don't say Itemi's voice throughout. Say I'll be shouting 4 sessions. I don't make noise for this. for this webinar series. I just did shout up and down. So thank you so much. He has answered all the questions. Eyitemi has a fantastic YouTube channel, by the way. Although he posts when when he's in the spirit or he's in the mood, you should check it out. I think extending beyond the business line of stuff, the actual practical insights that you can use to optimize your life. I put it in the chat box, Eyitemi journal on YouTube, but maybe Eyitemi can send the exact link, right? So you can follow him on Instagram, you can follow him on YouTube. He's currently doing some stuff. Koya, yeah, he just launched it. All right. I don't know how that works, but check it out. It's a fantastic. Yeah, it has a newsletter also. right? I don't know how often he writes, but back then, I think I know he used to write every day. So just help me, do me a favor, Eyitemi. All the touch points that people could use to experience more of you, just help me put them somewhere in the chat box, right? Thank you so much for joining. Like I said, so I did see a lot of people also making some comments. Is B2B. I brought Eyitemi specifically because I don't do B2B. A large chunk of the business models that I have run is B2C. And so a lot of my marketing strategies are not B2B marketing strategies. And if you're somebody who does like AI and none of this stuff, I'm sure this must have been like so valuable for you. All right. And all that. So that's exactly why I brought him, because I know that he has some wide knowledge in some space that I don't play in. And I hope that it was ridiculously valuable for you. So I would, at this point, allow Eyitemi to go. I'm looking here and I can't see any other questions. So Eyitemi, thank you so much. In about 3 seconds, I would release you to go and send the next 500 emails, right? Thank you everyone, and thank you so much, Eyitemi, for joining in this session. Have a fantastic day, Eyitemi. This brings us back to our final session. How has the student CEO program been for you? If like I said, this is CSR program, and the design is really to help students in university make a lot of good money. So we are rounding off this program today. After today, you're not going to see my face again. All right. I did have a couple of questions, but for some reason I can't find them again. And I had, quite a lot to cover, but I think the value from ATM is like overwhelming today. All right. As always, luckily, I'm leaving the session for the CSC replace up. So you can rewatch this as many times as possible. If you've seen my sessions for a while, you know that if you like go through the eye of a needle, you cannot get my replay. I never release replays. I get ridiculous amounts to release it, but I don't do it. All right. However, we're releasing this ones because again, it's a CSR. I want the next 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, students who are trying to, make good bucks in university can go back to this and it will help them. I mean, and the truths that are being shared, I think they're relatively valuable. So I want to answer a very important question, and I'll round off with this. What next after the student CEO program? And my attempt here is to give you sort of like a roadmap on what you should do next, right? Because like he said, unfortunately, planning doesn't get the job done. You have to execute. So a couple of things. Number one, I'm going to be as practical as possible. Some of you, and Eyitemi pulled that off, and I think it's really important. Some of you are not good at what you do. I have to be very clear. You are very bad at what you do. Your product is bad. Your skill is terrible. You are not competitive on a global standard. What is your first line of action? Your first line of action is to become ridiculously skilled on a global standard. All right, very well. So if you are at that point, all these conversations we're having, put it aside. You should go and dangerously upskill yourself. All right, and like you said, if you don't have a good product, you've not built yourself up to the point where your product is so valuable. Very simple. I mean, if you're not a value creator, become a value connector. Very simple. All right, so you get a very fantastic product, stay in the middle, close the gap, have some margin. Some of you are not yet at the point where you should be selling your own products because your products is still under. And I'm using products. You see now, my language is different because a large chunk of my business, so you hear a lot of product from my mouth. But like I was saying, you've got to you have no business. Just stay in the middle, right? For example, what does he do? He say, oh look, if I get somebody for this, all right, can I get $100? Can I get $50? Can I get $20? Right? So you play the middleman game up until when your product is properly developed. Right? That I saw it post and I think it's very valuable. So I don't have time to talk about this. Don't worry. It was going to send me down a rabbit hole of this analysis, but just put that aside. Right. So that's one of the things you have to do. And the next thing you want to be able to do is very simple. You need to orchestrate and organize your life in such a way that you always have pipeline. Pipeline is one of the most important things in business. All right, give me a second. Pipeline is one of the most important things in business. And what's pipeline? Pipeline is very simple. You always want to look through, you know, the way you say, he's just talking to his people, and it's like inboxes. There has to be mails going on every day. You know, in my organization, we have a variation marketing strategy, all right? And on an average, you know, they do emails, we do calls. All right. On an average, on a very decent day, we have anywhere 40 to 50 calls to new people going out every single blessed day. By the time you do that mass, let's even take the lower band. Let's even do 20 people. If you do 20 people times 7, that's 140 people. In a month, my people are talking to close to 500 people. All right. Try and close the sale. All right. Even at a 1% conversion, that's 5 people. And we deal in a high leverage industry. That's the real estate industry. Right. So 5 people at maybe 100 million each, or maybe 500 million each. Just even use a low band like 100 million. 100 million comes to like 500 million naira. 500 million naira is still some money for anybody. Right. So this is it. You need to realize if you do it large enough, some will drop into conversion. You know, and I think I handled that in the second session of marketing. I said, look, a lot of people don't have a sales problem. What they have is a marketing problem. They are talking to too little people and they're trying to extract much from little. No, it doesn't work that way. It's not much from little. It's actually little from much. Many times you extract, when you get a lot of people, you extract a little of those people that turn to conversion. So you need to ask yourself, how many people are coming? What's pipeline looking like? All right. And that's, remember, I'm giving you like a roadmap. Number 2, like I said, you always have to have your pipeline. Anyhow, if it's through page, yeah. Let me say something jokingly, seriously. Let me tell you something. You see, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole. I'm really tired, guys. I just want to end this session and not have to come back again on Sunday. You guys have deprived me of my Sunday sleep, the glorious Sunday sleep. For the past 4 weeks, I come back from church in my church attire. I still have to do this session. But let me tell you something. You see, the next thing that has to happen that you have to analyze in your business is a keyword. Write this word down, and it's the word control. All right. Eyitemi said something which I think is, I mean, the replay over there, so think through it. He said, when you have referrals, and which is one of the things that, you know, we don't play by. You have referrals, what happens with somebody's goodwill, and then they talk to somebody about you. But the problem is you have no control over whether or not somebody will talk about you. And the problem is, the moment you have no control over something in business, it becomes a game of luck. And the moment it becomes a game of luck, your sales becomes a miracle. And in business, you want to run more on principles than you want to run on miracles. It becomes a game of luck. All right. You do not want your business, people closing out shouldn't be a game of luck. All right. So you want to ask yourself, out of all these things that are bringing people into my business, one of the questions you want to ask yourself is, how much do I have control over? All right. I don't have control over this. I don't have control over, but I have control over this. This one that I have control over, I will do it till I'm almost dead. All right. So broadly speaking, at this stage and phase of your business, there are 2 ways you're going to be engineering your marketing. You're either going to be engineering your marketing by effort, or you're going to be engineering your marketing by money. It's always a game of the two. It's either an effort game or a money game. All right. So you're going to spend 2 currencies in marketing primarily. It's either time, effort, or you're spending money. And at the building phase of many of you, you do not have as much capital. Like I said, in our organization, we have the capital to do it. So we run paid ads. The amount of money we spend on paid ads probably more than some people's revenue for the whole month, or maybe for 6 months, or maybe for a year, depending on what you are selling. And the truth is, I wasn't always at this point where I was able to do that. All right. And it's all right. So if you don't have the money, you should have the time and put the effort. All right. So I call it effort marketing or money marketing. Is always one of the two. And listen, when you get to the point where you realize you don't have the money, and you have the effort, you put your life into the effort. Don't sleep. Hit a quota for yourself. All right. I'm going to send out 20 emails today. Wake up and you send the 20 bloody emails. You send it. Are you with me? You're too broke to be lazy. You send the 20 emails, guys. Are you with me? That's what you have to do. You don't have money for ads. You don't have money to attract. You go and keep bombing until something shows up. And the truth is that if you do it long enough, trust me, something is going to show up. So you want to be asking yourself those questions, very important questions. You know, do you have control over it? All right. Can you by will increase it? Can you by will make it larger? Those are things you want to be asking yourself about your marketing. And there's something I wanted to talk about, but there's a lot of content that I couldn't talk about because I only spoke for 2 weeks. But I wanted to ask to then move into evaluating the value chain of a business and asking yourself very importantly that are you playing in the high leverage point of your business? Because there is such a thing as asymmetry. Symmetry is small input to big results. You've seen the way people hold a megaphone, you speak here, but then that thing amplifies your voice. There's such a thing as asymmetry. You can be playing in the field of your business that is not the expandable portion, it's not the portion that has high leverage. All right. I can't guarantee you guys I'll have another session with you, but maybe I would, maybe I won't. But we'll see how it goes. All right. So you do those three things. I'm looking at getting it, and then once you do that, what you should have. Remember, we talked about the third step. Like I said, the moment you do that, what you start having at the very least, you start having clients coming in. Depends on how good your sales closure is. You start having a margin, a ratio closing out constantly. Depends on how good. And once it begins to close out constantly, the next step, I'm giving you practical roadmaps, is no matter how little, you need to have data. Name, email, phone number. For what? Don't worry. Just have the data. All right. Have the data. Very, very important. You keep your data. And then you need to optimize your processes. Very simple. If we promise to do this for you, how can we optimize our processes to ensure that we're delivering exactly what it is that we say we're going to deliver? And then you just deliver it. Very, very simple like that. And then there's a loop that goes on back, to the beginning like that. So I don't want to overstretch stuff because I feel like I've spoken a lot. I believe sooner or later we're going to have OSOB. OSOB is Online School of Business. We're going to do that. It's going to be for I'm not saying you guys are not actually entrepreneurs. But so why would this student CEO programs for people in university? OSOB is for actual people, but mostly in the real life world. Because it's not making people look like they're playing. But we do that for people. We'll have OSOB. It'll be most likely 3 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe next month or next 2 months. Unfortunately, the OSOB is going to be paid. All right. OSOB is going to be paid. So when we do that, then I'll have a lot more time to go deeper into a lot of these concepts. All right. I don't know how much OSOB will be. I don't know, but very low level. Maybe if I'm feeling good, we can price it at maybe like 100K or 200K because it's going to be online. We don't do anything physical. All right. But till then, if the Lord touches my heart, moves my heart, be like say this, you are too broke to be lazy statement, enter one out. But it's true now. See, I don't know if get lost. I'm tired and I don't want to start conversations that will take me down rabbit holes. All right. So thank you so much for joining the Student CEO program. I hope that my contribution to your life will yield money, and years to come, months to come, you would see me down the line and you would say, sir, that program is the reason why I'm a millionaire. Yup, that program is the reason why I'm doing very well financially today. All right, so thank you so much for joining the program. Before I drop off the call, I want to ask finally, do we have any questions? Because this is the last time you see me, most likely for free. this is probably actually the last time you see me for free. Or maybe perhaps I come to an institution to speak by providence. And I'm speaking in a lot less places this year very intentionally. Right. So while I'm waiting, I'll just use that I'm waiting for questions. Questions in the mail. Yeah, questions in the mail. Questions in the mail. Let me just open it myself. Tell me about that. I did see a couple of questions in the email. Let me look through them. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. OSUB. OSUB is going to be a really solid program, guys. Uh, okay, thank you. I have seen your questions. I'm currently looking at the mail myself. Some admin will be shocked. Okay, somebody says, could you create an avenue for student CUs to connect with another online, a facilitated Google Meet session? So let me tell you the truth. I'm contemplating the idea. I'm just very busy. If you look at my eyes, they are very tired. You know, I was actually meant to have a final session with you, but I don't want to say it so that I'll not be bound by my words. That session is not meant to be a YouTube session. It's meant to be a Q&A session. Google Meet, because Google Meet is a lot more real time, so I could actually answer questions and all that. So if that's going to happen, you'll get an email. All right, I'll answer questions generally. Good. So somebody says, how can one ideally plan for a short-term business idea execution such that the business can be sold 3 months at the end of that period? Okay, that's a very important, fantastic question. I wish Eyitemi was still here, because so this is it. Most businesses that can be sold at that period of time. This is it. Let me say something, and this is a good place to say. Whenever somebody wants to buy a business, what is he or she really buying? What is he or she really buying? Maybe it's a novel software, maybe blah 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 blah. It's a software that has ridiculous capacity and all that. But this is it. One of the questions one of the things you need to realize is that, and I don't want you to forget this, the capacity of a business, listen to me carefully, is everything the business can do without the CEO. Because the moment a business is bought, the first thing that happens is the CEO collects his money, or her money. She leaves the business, and whoever bought the business is left with whatever is left, excluding the CEO. So it's actually a module in OSOB. All right, we call it building a sellable business. There are a couple of things that you have to pay attention to if you want to. I've sold a business before. Most people don't know. I actually sold my business. Right. So I know what I'm talking about to some extent. Right. I mean, I didn't sell it for all this huge amounts. It was decent money. Now that I think about it back then, but at least somebody bought it. All right. And back to what I was saying. So you have to think about it like that. So if you're building a business with an intention to sell, you have to start asking yourself very important questions. The capacity of the business to produce what is producing, excluding my influence, is very important. That's something you really, really have to check, and you really, really have to get through. So your structures have to be on ground, your processes have to be on ground. That's really what they are buying. All right. I wish I had time to expand on this, but there's no I don't know. Do you guys want me to do you guys want me to go deep on that? Do you guys want me to spend more time, like another 45 minutes? I feel like you're tired, and I just want to let you guys go. Ah. I feel like I don't know. I just feel like you get that. It's been a long day now. Okay. Back to what I was saying. As I was saying. All right. So that's how you have to look at it. Many times. Let me tell you something. Someone say 10 minutes at least. Let me expand something to you. See, there are many models to use when you want to build a business that you want to sell. Let me give you guys sprinkle of also material. But one of the models you have to look at is, you see, when big businesses that are already established and outstanding in more developed parts of the country, when they want to enter countries that are underdeveloped, countries that are just growing. They could enter it directly. So maybe a Burger King wants to expand. They enter Nigeria, KFC. They enter Nigeria directly. However, sometimes some of these businesses don't want or don't have the strength to start building from scratch. So what they do is they find the most optimal and the best performing competitor that is localized in that country. Are you following what I'm saying? And what they do is rather than build from scratch, they just buy the competitor. Does this make sense? Right. So let me give you an example, and you find it out. So once company is growing big, I mean, this is not exactly an explanation, but you see, like Facebook just buys out stuff. It just buys out the company. All right. So listen. So sometimes when you are building, one of the things you want to ask yourself is the global players in my field, what exactly is it that they are looking for? Such that by the time they arrive the country, they choose the buyout model, my business already ticks 80 to 90% of their boxes. Are you following me? So just buy me out. They buy me out. All right. And if it's something that's oh I'm trying not to enter a rabbit hole, guys. Just take that. Just leave it like that. Right? If you're building a business to sell, there has to be structures in place, there has to be processes in place. The business has to be able to produce everything that is doing, excluding you. That's it. If the business can't do that excluding you, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And that's why I tell people, you always have to examine that. You always have to examine that. One of the fields that I play in primarily is real estate. And I tell my people, I do good volume in, I actually say jokingly, I say, look, the amount of sales I've closed, some of you will not close into the next 10 years of your life. And that's a bitter truth. The amount of sales I've closed this year, some of them will not close it till they die. That's a heavy statement to say. But from time to time, I stop closing sales. Yes, I stop it. And you know what I do? I step back. I want to be able to have the business generate close to the revenue that is generating without me. That's how to build a business. All right. That's how I want to build business. So that's one of the things you want to pay attention to if you're building business. So now the truth is how you can do it in 3 months. I think if you're doing it in 3 months, it has to be a most likely a tech-enabled business or an AI-enabled business. I'm not really skilled in giving you guys the timelines. Like I said, I'm primarily B2C. So maybe, I don't know, send me a message to Eyitemi if he answers you on Instagram, because he just downloaded Instagram. All right. Good. So listen, what's your biggest advice for young entrepreneurs? I'm answering questions from the email. To be resourceful, as resources can be scarce at the beginning. So what I want to say is, what I want to say is, at the beginning, you have about 5 resources in life. And if you don't have any of these 5 resources, you have serious problem. I'm not joking. You have a very serious problem. I need to address it fast. You need to shut down everything and enter the intensive care unit of your destiny. I see the way I'm going, I cannot make it. Are you with me? The five resources: your relationships, your energy, your attention, your time, and your money. Your relationships, your energy, your attention, your time, and your money. All right. Whenever you start in business, many times you most likely don't have the money if you're bootstrapping. Right. And I tell people, resource is different from resourcefulness. Resourcefulness is the capacity to see your resource as it can be, not necessarily as it is. While the resource is just a thing. So some people have resources, but they don't have resourcefulness. And it's something that you're going to need to have to build and develop very, very seriously if you're somebody, especially if you're building from scratch. So let me give you an example. How many of you have seen, and see, the problem with many people is the lens that their upbringing gave them. Maybe they had parents that were not so intelligent in the interpretation of certain features of their children's life. What those upbringings can do is they can educate something that is meant to be your advantage into your disadvantage. Thus, the actual resource that you have, you can. Let me give you an example. You are a lady, all right, or you're a guy, you're a young guy in school, you're growing up and all that. And how many of you know these people that if you are working with them, you feel very bad because they will know everybody and they'll be greeting everybody. How many of you know people like that? You don't work with them, hey, Shalewa. Now, that person can be a very, very broke person materially. But this is it. The person knows, maybe if you're in the university, the person knows everybody in school. Both the cleaner, both the man selling rice, both the bully woman, both the DSS, I see DSS, DSA, maybe your dean. Because I'm using those contexts because it's your program. Students, knows everybody. Knows how to relate with everybody, knows how to connect to, knows all the lecturers. Those are the kind of people that carry lecturers bags with them to the office. Now the person grows up in an African home, and because people like that many times are very jovial and they talk a lot. All right. They grow up in an African home, and guess what? Because they talk a lot, the African parents look at them and say, "Hey, you talk too much. Ba 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 cha 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 like a parrot. Learn to shut your mouth. You talk a lot." And so the very thing that is the person's advantage that can be traded as a resource in relationship, the person that says, talking a lot is bad, the person begins to shut it down. But what you've not realized is the problem is not talking a lot. The problem is not knowing when to talk. You know that different things. If when you're meant to talk, you talk a lot, is not a problem. You talk, but the problem is not knowing when to talk. So rather than engineering the skill to be deployed properly in the right context, we throw the baby and the bathwater all away together. Because while that person doesn't have money, that person knows every single human being. Relationships. If that person finds a good product, has a bit of brushing, fantastic marketer, all those things turn into cash. Are you following what I'm saying? This is very important because we have over-exaggerated, and this is it. We have over-exaggerated the place of money in starting a business. Now, I sound like a motivational speaker. So I tell people, you don't need money to start, but the truth is you need money to scale. For startup pack, you don't need money. What you need is a problem and a solution. And if you don't have the money to create it, find somebody who has created it and be a connector up onto the point where you gain the credibility, you gain the relationships, and in some cases, you can gain some relative startup capital to build something, to gain traction, and you can fund later. But most times, once we lack money, there is this wrong education that happens to us that we just feel incapacitated. All right? Now, I remember a young man when I was in school, and never forget, because I had this resource, I had a lot of solid relationships, and I didn't know I needed to buy some food. I didn't have money back then. It's like 100 level, 200 level. I never forget. There's a guy who used to sell past questions. His name was Constantine. Fantastic guy. I think he used to sell it at maybe 5K or 4K. I can't remember. And he had been struggling to sell these things for hours. You see, pile up. So I was hungry. So I approached Constantine. I said, give me 10 past question booklets. Give me 1 hour. Now, I didn't have money. I told him, I said, give me 10. Give me 1 hour. Are you with me? Collected the booklets. In 1 hour, I sold all the 10 copies. I marked it up by, I think maybe it was like 500 or 1,000. Shouts in about 1 hour, I had like 5K. I went to go and eat. Because like 700 rooms in our halls are really, really large, and I just went room to room, room to room, room to room. By the time I covered like 2 weeks, like the cash was in my pocket. I went to go and find something. I had a very fantastic meal that day. All right. So you have resources and you lack money, you use the resources you have, find money. Let's go back to that relationship person that knows everybody in the school. If that person maybe creates a platform, when we get to also, I'm going to talk a lot about business models and where the real money is hiding, because sometimes the money is not hiding in the products, the money is hiding in the platform. You are the one who can drag everybody together, no problem. You then can build a business in such a way that you are not the creator of businesses. What you are is you are the facilitator of businesses. So you know this person, you know that person, you bring them together, they do business. What do you think platforms like Seller are doing? Platforms like Next Stage, all these platforms, creator platforms, and the other end, people that want to buy their courses, why are they in the middle? I'm collecting charges on top of collecting money. It's tech that's making it look like a big deal. I know somebody back then, how she used to do it. And I'm dumping things down because university, how she used to do it. No, she did. As she knows everybody like that, she created a WhatsApp group where she'd be, posting maybe memes or something. Just posting, people go just they laugh. You get what I'm saying? And then two ways. On certain days, you could pay 500. By the time there are like 500 people in the group is very engaging or something. People could pay. I think it was like 1K to advertise every Friday, only 10 slots so that they can focus on your ads. All this is don't need money. 10 slots, 1,000 naira, 2,000 naira, 20K to next Friday. So people are booking slots ahead in order to get. Do you get what I'm saying? Say, Baba, one of those things is key for me. Some other time she say, you know what? If you don't trust this person, I'll be an escrow for you. Send the money to me. And then in the same school, let the person deliver what he wants to deliver to me. You come, I'll be an intermediary. 5%, 10%, money is complete. That's all this chicken. Because I'm trying to be as practical for starter pack points. You get what I'm saying? Just to be posting memes, that person was doing. Before you know it, 100, 200 people, 300 people. Sometimes it was not memes, sometimes it was the most important information in the school. Some other times it was school gist. Just gather the people, facilitate the business, this thing. So let me also tell you something that I think is very important. You see, the person who has the capacity to attract and aggregate attention is the most powerful person. Forget if you don't have a I read something from Danko and I think it was fantastic. Danko said, if you don't know what to build traction. Just build it first. Don't worry. Well, which product we store, build it first. It's the reason why since when I was in 200 level 300, I started taking my content game serious. You just build it first. Don't worry. The rest will handle themselves. All right. So I think that answers that question. Let me take the final question. Hello, sir. The past weeks at the Student CEO program has been absolutely insightful. By the way, am I wasting your time? And I'm so grateful for the opportunity. I'm exploring the platforms built specifically for students, entrepreneurs. I would love my perspective. I'm coming into while I'm juggling different tools, they'll be able to build on a brand money sales or abstract business. So I don't know. It's the person that asked this question. You are the one that sent the email. Are you here? I'll give like a few minutes for because I know there'll be some lag. Are you here? Are you here? That's what I'm asking. First of all, it's a like highly personalized answer. I don't want to answer again. Say I'm praying my mom that the person is not here. So when I say, "Oh, you're not here," let's just go on because it's a very highly personalized question. Okay. All that being said and done, I think I have exhausted all the questions. I'm trying to exhaust everything so that because you will not see me again. No. That I guarantee you. Unless I come to a school by providence. Okay. I do not think there are questions. Somebody said, what's a good way to make sure? I'm looking at the group now. This is the only question I can see. You don't get stuck planning and researching instead of taking action. Because people join sessions like this all year long and take no action. I expounded on this the final times or the final minutes in the previous video where I spoke about the exam effect. So I think you should check that out. So all said and done, thank you so much for joining the Student CEO program. Like I said, it's my desire to see your finances go up significantly, and I hope it does. Put these things to practice. Have questions, perhaps you shoot me online. I hope I'll be able to answer. The ones I can, I would. Take a screenshot from this session, share in as many places as you can. The replay, obviously, all replays are on. This is also going to be left on, so you can rewatch it. And I really, really hope to see you at the top, guys. Thank you so much. And I'll see you whenever the Lord touches our hearts to do another free program. Till then, keep executing.
I was built for more than the mess I wore. Had to lay the pride down, put my face to the floor. I was talking big, but I live too small. Now I wake up focused, give my all, give my all. Old me, tried to win by the empty flex. New me on my knees, gotta clean a step. One life, one path, I'm gonna walk it right. Every scar got a story, now I'm made for life. I've been changing day by day, no more running in place. I can feel that old weight falling off my name. When I rise with purpose. When I fall, it makes me steady. I'm not who I was, I'm getting ready. Better me, that's who I'm gonna be. Better me, walking in destiny. One step, one prayer, I'm becoming who I'm meant to be. Better me, that's who I'm gonna be. Cut the fake friends off, cut the noise down low. I don't need applause, I need food that grows. Got a heart to guard, got a mind to renew. I'm not chasing cloud, I'm chasing truth. If the road gets hard, I won't tap out. Build on grace, not hype, that's what I'm about. Every little win, every yes, every no, that's the kind of strength that helps a person